Yay!
Yeah.
Hamsters!
No hamsters.
No.
In the dystopian cyberpunk world.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna go live in just a second.
All right, go.
Oh,
Go, go.
yes.
Oh.
This is pretty cool. Ooh. So yeah, we can.
Oh,
we
we
can
are.
see.
I think we are live.
We are live, and I can see the map and the feed. So
I was like,
that's
hold on,
amazing.
where do I have to click to go live? It's like, oh, we are live. Yeah. Hello, everyone.
Hey!
Right.
Hello.
Welcome to the cyberpunk future that nobody wanted, where all the technology isn't working. We've just
We're
spent,
already there.
We've spent the last half hour trying to get the video in Foundry to work, and in the process, you can all see a background, but like on the screen here, this like city map, this blue city map, but none of the players can, which is interesting. So, but at least we can all see and hear each other, which is progress. So we're gonna stick with it. We're basically gonna be doing theater of the mind for the players, because the players have access to their character sheets, to rolling dice and everything else. They just won't be able to see anything on the screen. So some of the scenes that I've set up, we'll just ignore for this session. For those of you who haven't watched this session 0, have stumbled upon this actual play, I recommend watching the session 0. I will give a quick recap of what we talked about, because it is important if you haven't done it and you don't plan on going back and watching it for some reason. Basically, we're playing a game called Terminal States, which is a corporate dystopian sci-fi RPG, basically cyberpunk without any of the 80s baggage, so looking at the future, a corporate dystopian future from today's perspective, from 2025. However, when we're playtesting the beta, the alpha, the beta that's currently available to Kickstarter backers. It's not a complete document yet, but we're basically using what we've got. All the rules are there. It's been playtested, so there's enough to get our fingers into it and to test it out. However, we are not using the default setting. We are moving this a little bit further into the future. We're still having a sort of corporate dystopian future, but it's not going to feature heavily. Instead, the setting for this is on one of the moons of Jupiter. I wrote it down in my notes which one it was exactly. And of course, because I've been opening and closing browsers like a madman for the last half hour, it's all gone. So give me a second while I just recheck that. Does anybody know anything about like the moons of Jupiter?
No, I think we agreed on them having like very irregular conjunctures. So like constantly shadows and weird colors of Jupiter always shifting, kind of unpredictable for us. Yeah.
So I've done a lot of we did some kind of big high level world building stuff like that, and I've tried to make the science sort of fit like why that might be happening. Basically, there is this God, let me find it. It's annoying me that I've written it down somewhere and it's not. Callisto. There we go. We're on the moon Callisto. It has been terraformed by a corporation called Canopy, and basically they have also messed around in the process of terraforming it. They've also messed around with the infrastructure on the, like all the infrastructure they're putting in place to also change its orbit so that it's in a sort of locked orbit with Jupiter, and are trying to make it so that it has some sort of normal day-night cycle, although it's not quite normal. There are other things happening with with this sort of sci-fi technology to try and make it look like a day-night cycle. However, there are long periods of time where the moon is facing Jupiter, where Jupiter may or may not be also getting some reflection from the sun, so it may or not be visible, which means at certain times of the calendar, whatever you want to call it, certain times of the month, certain times of the year, Jupiter is almost completely filling the sky, when you're kind of on the ground. Not completely, but like it is massively taking up a big portion of it. And that's what's actually happened when you've landed. And something has also happened where there has basically been a disaster, which is why you're coming to the moon. Some sort of test has been happening by Canopy, this corporation. It has gone wrong. They've been out of touch with everyone else in the solar system for a period of time, although there has been some sort of like the standard responses have been going back to everything's ticking along all nicely. So there's been a period of months where they've not really been in touch until someone has discovered that something's not right. We talked about there being a distress beacon that actually got through kind of late. And anyway, there's now a rush to get to the moon from different factions of people who want to get their hands on something called a resonance core, which is a fancy little bit of sci-fi tech that has being developed here on the moon. And you are members of a rebel cell, kind of. You're rebelling against the corporations. You're basically like, well, what would you call yourselves, actually? How would you label yourselves?
Yeah, freedom fighters. I think we would label ourselves as freedom fighters. Rebels.
Anti-corporation. So in the
anti-corporation resistance, sort of like anti-corp resist.
Sounds grand. I think so.
So you kind of have funding from people who are also kind of like have whatever interests in fighting back against the corporations, trying to do all sorts of kind of missions to stop them from having so much power. And one of the things is coming to this moon and trying to get your hands on this resonance core before anybody else does, because if there was never a chance to come here, the moon was too heavily locked down for anyone to be able to get in there and try and take it. But now, because there's been this disaster, there have been images that have kind of come out before you've arrived showing that there's been some explosions and some weird things happening on the surface, and that's where you are. However, on your way in, something has happened with the various technologies in place to control the atmosphere. There's basically like a big ring called the halo that is also in like a locked orbit above the city, and this thing basically creates like a bubble of sci-fi technology that helps to keep things like the radiation out, because there's not much atmosphere. It creates a sort of type of atmosphere, stops radiation, and also there is some other stuff going on which is also preventing like meteorites from getting through and smashing up the city. So there's this kind of like defensive dome, if you will, that's centered around the middle of the city. And on the map, which you can't see, right in the center, there's this thing called the landing port, and the landing port is directly below the center of this halo. So the halo is like a ring, it's hollow in the middle, and what they can basically do on the surface is they can switch off the bit in the middle to allow ships to pass through. However, on your entry in, something went wrong, and you have crashed outside the edges of the city. You can't see the map unless you're looking at the YouTube video, but basically, if we're kind of crashing you off on the north side of the city, on the outskirts, near one of these many sort of arterial transit tunnels that go through. One thing to mention is also that Callisto is an ice planet. It's got huge thick layers of ice, so there has been stuff happening to try and like mix the ice with other materials to make a sort of like concrete, which is what the city is kind of using as a foundation, but it's still sitting on top of very, very thick layers of ice. So, you've crash landed, and I want to start there. I'm kind of a little bit out of sorts here because he spent so much time on this bloody, like, this technology to get it working. So I apologize. That's a little bit of a not so intriguing start to the session.
No worries.
But we're gonna basically imagine that we are kind of coming in over the city, like a TV show or something, right? And you're getting a little pan of this sprawling city below. There are lights on in the city, but it's not like completely solidly lit up. You can see patches where it's dark, patches where it's light. There is this sort of like gloomy light, ambient light coming from Jupiter itself. So it's not like a daytime cycle. It's kind of like you would imagine a sunset or sunrise to be, sort of that level of darkness or gloom. So you can kind of see well, but you can kind of see, but there's a lot of shadows everywhere, and you can't see too far in the distance necessarily. Okay. And you have crash landed, and you came in with, we'll say about a dozen anti-corp crew members, including yourselves. But unfortunately, there are only the 3 of you who've survived, plus 2 others. One is Lee, an ex-soldier, and the other one is Ash. Ash is a hacker. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And
Matt?
that's where we're starting. Yeah.
Okay. Matt? We were talking about that my character should have were meeting the others here, but now we changed that. Have I been here before?
No.
No? Cool.
No. So yeah, sorry. In session 0, Rasmus was not going to be in the session 1, but that was meant to be 2 weeks ago, and we ended up not having that originally planned session 1. So now we're all together. We've kind of scrapped that idea. We're sticking with your character concept because it still is a good character concept, and I don't want to we don't have time to redo the whole thing. So you are still a corporate clone who was kind of created to fulfill an executive position in a corporation, and but you kind of rebelled against that. Something happened in your past where you also then had to survive in a sort of desolate place. Maybe you escaped from them, went out to like an area that was like a wasteland, and effectively you have this sort of weird 2 parts to your character, where the one hand you were kind of raised in the lap of luxury, taught how to be a smooth talking executive, and then you rebelled against that, and now you've got this very wasteland sort of vibe to you. So yeah, it's an interesting little
duality. I
duality
like that.
there. Yeah. Okay, so you're with them. So you're all 3 together. Carlos also has a dog. So Jakob's character has a drone, a walking drone. We've kind of said it looks like a dog, and in fact, we're kind of running with the idea that maybe it's a bit like a servitor from Warhammer 40k, in that it's like a cyborg dog. So something along those lines. So imagine a sort of cybernetic dog, and you're kind of running with the right idea.
Well, we have character pictures, right? Can you blend them in?
I mean, yeah. If I come back to the screen with just, if nobody moves around their tokens.
Yep.
Oh, and of course, whatever's happening with you not being able to see things, when I hover over your artwork, it's meant to show a little thing in the corner, and that's also not working. Anyway, I'll just zoom in a bit. I also can't move your characters. Oh, I'm in the wrong text.
I can move my character.
Okay, no, it's all working now for me. I was just in the wrong place. Okay, so basically the character art, we have Carlos, who is Jakob's character. We have Quake, who is Rasmus's character. We have Kara, who is Carmen's character. You can see down here, Dog. I don't know if we have a name for the dog yet. I've just been referring to it as Dog in my head.
Karas, but yeah.
What's the name?
Could be Karas, but could be also just named Dog by everyone else. So
Dog meat.
Dog meat.
Oh.
I was not focused on correcting you, so.
And then I've taken artwork from the pre-gens for the game for the two Ash and Lee, the two sort of GM PCs, if we will. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you are at the scene of this crash. The shuttle is in pieces. You are on a very, very you actually don't know how long you have. You just know that you need to be as quick as you can because you know other people might already be here or they might be coming, and you need to get to this thing as quickly as possible. You also have no idea where it could be. So the first thing I want to do as you're kind of stumbling out of the wreckage of your shuttle is paint a little picture for you. Not only is it cold because this is an ice planet and you're beyond the outskirts of the dome, there is very, very I think we need to say that there is no atmosphere because you're outside the dome, right? So we're just going to assume that you've managed to find in the shuttle there was enough equipment for you to be able basically get yourselves ready for a position where there's no atmosphere. You probably did that as a precaution coming in. So we're going to say that you are suited up for being out basically in space. You're not far from the dome. You could see that when you were when the shuttle was coming into crash, you were just kind of on the outskirts. So you can walk there it won't take very long to get to the dome. Yeah. So any questions before we move on a little bit with that sort of setup?
Nope. I think we
Yep.
Sounds
get
good.
to the
To go, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just as you're sort of just checking everybody is okay, you're checking who survived and who hasn't.
Yeah.
Quick head. You're aware that you're on a timer, not only because of the amount of oxygen that are in your tanks, but also just to get to this thing before the other people do. You're kind of patched in local communications, picks up a little trill, like a little sound, and you can see that there's an emergency beacon light flashing on the it's a big red light that's kind of flashing from the cockpit of the shuttle. Well, I'm saying shuttle, but it must be an actual a slightly bigger ship to take 12 people in. Don't worry about that. And yeah, you see this thing flashing, this little trill, showing you that there's an emergency beacon that's been activated. And it's probably coming up on your visor for your helmets as well, like in the corner.
Oh.
Okay. Do we have any equipment to call for, like lift up, if we for a lift? Then when we got whatever we should extract the resonance core.
Sure. Let's say that you came in on a bigger ship, and this was a shuttle that was sent down from the bigger ship, which is still kind of in stealth orbit. But there's a piece of equipment that we'll say that the hacker Ash has with him, which is a very strong sort of communication device that will be able to send a sort of encrypted transmission to the ship when you need pickup.
Okay. So.
And he's checking it right now. In fact, that's what he's doing. He's down just checking that in the crash that hasn't been damaged.
Yeah. So this is Ash. I would look around everyone. Also, we did our head count, I suppose, and then I would look to Ash and say, "Oi, with the transmission device, everything's fine."
He kind of turns back to look at you. Yeah. I think it's fine.
Then we better turn
some
off
more
the beacon.
diagnostics when we get inside the dome. Ideally, if we can find a workbench somewhere, there's bound to be plenty of places inside.
Then we better turn off the
diagnostics.
Sorry.
I don't have the tools to run some of these diagnostics just to check everything's running. But my preliminary checks, everything seems to be okay.
Good. Then we better shouldn't turn off that beacon, or else maybe it's too late, but they could find us. And I will go back to the shuttle where I suppose the.
Or we should move a bit.
Yeah. Just a second. I just want to smash through the consoles with my servo fist to disable the beacon of our shuttle.
Ash sees you like pulling your fist back, and you can just hear him in your comm saying like, wait.
We don't have time.
Do you smash it anyway?
Nah, I do this like pissed off movement with my servo fist, but I say, "What? We don't have time."
I can switch it off. He's kind of like
Yeah.
moving towards you.
Yeah.
You gonna let him switch it off?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I go back to the others and make like.
Boring.
Yeah, we have no time, so yeah.
Quick will look around a bit and see if we can recognize, environments and see if
Sure.
it's a good way out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can see some lights
I'll,
in the distance.
yeah.
Yeah, go on.
I'll look around. I think it's over there.
So you kind of there's some like rocks and stuff, icy rocks and some mixed with some sort of like some sort of dust that seems to be maybe because you're close to the city. It's kind of maybe it's something's been blown over, some like debris from this kind of concrete stuff that's been made, this icecrete, so to speak. And
He'll go over and put his hand on it and try to, feel the material. And
yeah,
it's
I mean,
cocking his
you've
head
got a
bit to the
glove.
side.
You've got a glove on, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, but he needs the connection with the environment
right.
for his.
Okay. You place your
The view
hand.
of the world.
You place your hand
Yeah.
on. You of course don't feel anything.
No.
But whether you take from that what you will.
Nice. Yeah. I think
Actually,
Yeah.
you think just as you're about to take your hand away, you think you feel a slight like vibration, very very slight.
Oh. It's alive. Or angry. Nice.
What?
It's just happened once, and you kind of leave your hand there to see does it come back.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem to come back. And just at that moment while you're waiting, like just long enough to be like to take your hand away a second time, on all of your internal comms, something switches on, and you hear this sound, like almost like you're wearing headphones because it's being piped in through your helmet, and it's this sort of haunting sound of what you could only describe as like what machines humming or some sort of machine noise, but it has the impression that it's kind of being sung in harmony, but in a very weird sort of harmony, and it's very very faint, but I mean you can't ignore it. It's like there. It's like ambient music. So you can still talk to each other. It's not like you need to rip your helmet off and like go screaming because it's like boring into your brain. But it's nothing it's unlike anything you've ever heard before. And Rasmus, is Quake, are you leaving your hand on the floor when you do this?
A bit longer. Yeah, I do.
When you're kind of maybe listening to this sound, and it like hits a kind of unusual little crescendo, and right at that moment there's a slight vibration again in the ground.
Ooh. Quake will look over to at the others. I guess
Someone
you
else got a
didn't hear
tinnitus?
that. Oh, you heard that? Cool.
Yeah.
That's
What do you
Not
mean?
in my head.
It's alive. So
yeah, well, or something is. How's that beacon going, Ash?
Well, I switched right when I went to switch it off. The sound started coming through our helmets. It must be tied to our equipment here on the ship. Should I try and switch it off?
Or perhaps
Lee says, "We haven't got time for this. Let's just head into the city. As soon as we're through the dome, we can take our helmets off and we won't hear it anymore. We're wasting time."
Oh.
Yeah.
He's just
We
finished
won't
checking
have any
his
use if we
rifles.
freeze to death.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Mm.
let's keep going.
Just go.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're kind of deciding to move. You look around a bit, and what you can see is in the distance towards what you can imagine to be the city. You can see some lights, which must be the city, kind of dotting around on the horizon ahead of you. Probably the closest one would be about a 20 to 30 minute walk if you were on Earth. So not like super close, but you're on an ice moon, right? So there's like not a lot of space, things blocking you, no trees or anything like that. And in fact, the closest lights that you can see appears to be some sort of like industrial building of some kind. You also see, as you're kind of looking around, and in fact, Lee just like starts marching almost towards that point, the closest point of light. And I'm assuming that all of you basically like grab your gear and just start following.
Yeah.
It doesn't. We're not going to worry too much about who's in which order right now. But as you're walking, you're kind of looking around you as well, and you can see off to your left as you're walking towards the city, in the distance, that there's also some like flickering lights, very faint, maybe even only one light flickering. And in the
also on
flicker,
the outside the city, right?
outside the city.
All right.
And in the flicker, you think you can see that there is some sort of shape. It's like lighting up a bit of a shape of some kind. Irregular shaped, not very big, but certainly like this is a very flat landscape at the moment. There's a little bit of debris, rocks, craters and things like that, but mostly flat where you're looking. And just over there, there's like the lights are kind of just there's something there. You can't tell because it's not light enough, but it would take you out of your way to head over there.
Looks like we got company. We should keep our heads down, the lights out.
Or it could be friends.
Yeah, sure.
We make so much friends.
Well,
You could send
not
your
often,
dog
but sometimes.
to go investigate. You
The
can send
dog?
your dog
Oh.
to investigate because the dog will also have some sort of extra sensors in its eyes, right?
Oh yeah. So I
Like a sort of scout sort of
yeah,
dog.
that's right. So I sniff a little bit and say, "All right, we head forward. Keep our heads down, the lights out. Understand, Karis?" And I just gesture to the dog, and like the antenna of the dog just adjusts to me, and with a little woof, he just turns on his heels and carefully scouts the perimeter closer to the lights. Not extremely dangerous to this, but
Yeah.
just testing forward with the sensors and everything to.
This is your drone, right? So you're getting this pipe back to you. You all have a chip in your head as well to allow you to interface with certain things, and you have an interface with the dog. So you can it's actually coming up in your brain as if it's something you can see.
Yeah.
And it takes a few minutes, but you basically have this like video feed of your drone getting closer to this thing, and after a few minutes, it becomes clear that it's the wreckage of quite probably another ship.
Is it the same ship type that we got, probably?
It looks kind of like the same size, yeah.
Okay. Can I make out any signals? Any distress beacons, maybe? Or could the dog maybe jump on on a little higher rock to zoom into the outer markings of the shuttle or of the spacecraft.
You send the kind of commands for it to do that as soon as it's able
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
It's going to take a few minutes because it's still like you're literally just getting the first feeds where you can kind of think like, oh, I think that's what it is. And after a few minutes more, the dog is able to send you back some clear images, and the shuttle looks to be very, very, very similar to yours. Similar sort of size, similar sort of markings. It's unfortunately in quite bad shape from its crash. You can't see any markings on it. There's a lot of fire damage, a lot more than yours had. Obviously, there's no atmosphere, so it had a much more spectacular crash than yours did.
Okay.
But there is there's a portion of some of the fuselage is kind of like sticking up at an angle where you can tell that it's a ship, and that's why there's like a flickering light is as dog is getting closer. There's actually more lights that are kind of on and flickering, so there's some limited power still powering the ship, but you could only see from the distance. You could only see the brightest one that was kind of pointing in your direction.
Okay.
But there's no markings that you can see, at least from this side. Now,
Okay.
you're at a point where the dog is probably maybe a bit less than halfway to it. If you want the dog to look and investigate it further, it's probably not going to be able to get back to you before you're inside the dome.
Okay.
So the question is,
No,
do you want the dog to continue investigating that, or do you want to have it come back to you?
If the dog can see any, can take a look around if he could trace any footsteps of survivors, passengers, heading their way to the city, that would be fine. If he doesn't see anything, he will head back to me.
Okay. So again, remember, think of it like you're here, coming down.
Yeah.
Over here is the other crash site, and your dog is basically where my nose is, right?
Yeah.
So you're heading kind of this way. So, you want the dog to kind of still like look around here for.
No, if he can zoom in to the route from the other crash shuttle to the dome, and if he doesn't see
Okay.
anything from there, which would be totally fair,
So
he
if
would
there were
return to me.
survivors, if they were heading towards the city, just kind of look
Yeah.
in that direction. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. Can somebody roll me a dice, please? Any dice will do. Looking for either an even or an odd.
Okay.
Okay. Everybody's rolling. Looks like
Where's the dog
Carmen
rolling
was
now?
first
This is weird.
with the kind of teal color die.
Yeah.
So we're going with a 6. The dog does actually see some markings. Yeah.
Okay.
It manages to find a bit of elevation, and it's got some very good sensor equipment and cameras and stuff in it, and it's able to pick up what it looks like to be. I mean, you're seeing the feeds that it's sending you, and you'd be very hard pressed to think. I'm not actually sure those are like footsteps, but it looks like one pair of regular markings going in a solid line towards the city.
Okay.
You're just assuming
but
from the context that that's what you're looking at. It's not actually clear enough to confirm that or not.
Yeah. Okay, then the dog will return to Carlos to reunite with us before we enter the dome. And I say, single survivor, as it looks like. Only one pair of foot tracks.
Well, there.
Does anyone of you know of them? Does anyone know of you of them sending a second team down there?
Well,
Maybe one of us.
it could also be a competition.
Yes, that would be the alternative.
Lee
To
says.
watch out.
Lee says, these shuttles are used by everyone. Could be anyone.
We'll find out. send Karis out, and once we reach the dome, maybe find out more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we need atmosphere.
Yeah.
I pat like Kara on the shoulder. Everything okay with your little one?
Poor old man.
Neck still attached.
I'm all right.
Good.
So good. Like, oxygen doesn't run out. Let's
Yeah.
move.
Yeah. So
Okay.
keep your oxygen.
You're about halfway to the city, to the point you're looking for, and it is definitely an industrial building of some description, probably a like a power substation, sort of something like that. You can also see another building, kind of maybe a bit more towards where the footsteps were heading towards. There's another big building, and it's looks more like something like a. I know, of course, what it is. You can't tell. It's another industrial facility, a little bit less. It's definitely not like a. It looks different. It's a bit bigger, and a little bit more squatter than the what you think to be some sort of like power substation, which has, you know, these sort of like power pylons and things sticking up from it and stuff like that. Yeah. And you also see what kind of nearby where you're heading right now, near the power station, there is a there's an antenna hub that's kind of poking up. The lights are off on it. Usually they would have lights lit up on it, just so it can be seen by people, maybe ships coming in or something like that. So there are no kind of lights flickering on it. But because you're getting closer, you're about halfway there. You can kind of see it, almost like silhouetted against some of the other lights in the city beyond it. And you hear Ash pipe up, "Oh, that's perfect. If there's an antenna array, then there's going to be equipment there that I can use to just make sure that our communication device is working." He gives it its actual name, not communication device. Apologies.
Yeah. And also a good vantage point to, scout.
Yeah, if you can get it running for a few minutes, maybe we could check in the last data it recorded. All right.
Quake also wants to pick up some rocks or rubble and put in his bag.
You have some rubble.
Grandson.
Just some small pieces, or do you want it to be weighing you down?
No, just some small pieces so we can check that they're real later.
Ah, okay. Yeah. You can do some licking. You can like lick it and smell
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Smell it then.
Or put the radioactive stuff in your pocket. That's always nice.
Yes. Well,
Way to
had
go.
worse.
Always clone some children. Yeah.
Okay.
A good lighting source. Yes.
Then thought of you other guy for souvenirs, but maybe it'd
well,
come in handy. The talking rock.
Yeah, exactly. It sounded interesting.
Sounds dangerous to me, but well, you do you.
How do I do that?
Oh, don't. Think about it too hard. Come on, Looney. Let's just go.
Okay.
Okay. So, you make your way closer and closer to this, clearly this power substation, and at some point, feels like you passed through a something. You're not quite sure. It's nothing visible that you can see, but there's like a little. You feel like a little spark also in your head, in your chip. You get like a slight like electrical jolt, very very slight, but all of you feel it. In fact, one at a time. Lee does it first, and you can see him kind of like his pace changes slightly, but he doesn't say anything. And then each of you, as you kind of follow him, realize that you've probably passed through the edge of the dome.
Matt, quick question from the chat. Could you turn up your volume a bit? Because so kind of fall around the rest of us.
How do I sound for the rest of you?
For us, perfectly
clear.
fine. But
Yeah.
the
Okay.
chat says that, yeah.
That means it's one of these other settings here. So hopefully that's a bit louder. I've just turned it up. If it's too loud now, then please say something. Yeah, Mr. McDonting, aka Tim, it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can also turn the rest of you down ever so slightly. Can't make out a change. Interesting.
Hmm.
I'm just going to turn down the others slightly, so...
Shake out of my weird character for a moment and
Okay, so I've turned everybody else down ever so slightly in the stream. My volume's up as well, so hopefully we'll see a difference. I can move my mic a little bit closer to me as well, just if that helps too. Yep, so... no worries, no worries. Okay. Yeah, you each pass through this invisible wall, and as you're going through, you can see Lee in the distance. He's kind of like he's shouldered his rifle. He's got a sniper rifle, and he's got like a duffel bag, which is quite long, and you think you know that he has another weapon in there of some description. But he then strips out of his. He's like takes his helmet off. He takes a deep breath, and then turns and gives you a thumbs up, and starts taking the rest of his stuff off.
and then at the moment I'm taking out my environment analyzer, or what do you call it, and checking if it's safe.
Yeah, it's mostly green lights. You can definitely breathe the atmosphere, according to your device. There are a few amber warnings for certain types of molecules in the air that are maybe a bit high, but it's nothing that you should really be concerned about. Only if you lived here for like if you were like breathing this air constantly for weeks, would you potentially start having problems. But yeah.
I'll when I lift my helmet, let's not stay here for a longer time than necessary.
Yeah.
Second that. All right. Can we see like the relay station or the antenna station?
Yeah, it's ahead of you. Yeah.
Okay.
You've been heading directly for it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there's this there's an antenna relay station, kind of situated behind the power power substation. Yeah.
So like, is this an open power park, or is this a closed building with like power
closed-
pylons sticking out?
It's a basically like a closed building, fairly large, and it has pylons and sticking like maybe just some small like pylons sticking up out of the top, and it has some lights kind of dotting the like. There's like a flashing light at the top of one of the pylons, like you'd expect to see on the antenna, array.
Okay. So, but this is to be expected. There's nothing like a weird link between.
Not that you can tell.
Okay, good. So, what should we do? Shall we circumvent the power station, head right back to the head right to the relay station? We have no time, and
We need to find out where the core is, but yeah. If the relay station is good for Ash, I would say that's a good plan.
good. So, check if we can secure the perimeters, Kara.
I'm on it, says Lee, and he
Okay.
starts. There's like a ladder on the side of the building, and he starts climbing up it to go to the roof of the substation.
Okay. Kara wants to say something, so sorry.
No, I'm fine. You kind of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
So what are the rest of you doing?
Yeah, I think we slowly move forward, like carefully, not to get surprised or something like that, but like the tactical advance backed by our sniper. Heading to the relay station, to the antenna station.
Okay.
So who is going first? I think I'm like the most robust sort of
You're definitely
fighter in a group.
You're definitely the biggest. Yeah.
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 So I'll send forward the dog, like Karis, to scout ahead and see if any life signs of potential hostiles could be made out, and I'll follow up. Who is right behind me?
Probably me.
Yeah.
And I'm at the back then, walking. I'm not very quiet, but walking and looking around, being, observing stuff and curious.
Okay. Ash is then in front of between Kara and Quake. And yeah, it doesn't take you very long to get there. It's kind of like there's one building between it and the substation, and there's like an access road going between them. And yeah, you walk along the road, you get to the place where this antenna array is, and it's basically like a there's a small outbuilding, kind of like a shack kind of thing. Maybe slightly bigger than that. It has a sort of climate control, like air conditioning unit type of thing on the side. But then mostly there's like a ladder going up to the roof of it, and then a very sturdy ladder going higher up so you can kind of climb up into the antenna itself. And as you're looking at it, kind of look up at it, there's something weird with the antennas. I mean, you've seen antennas before. They work like antennas usually seem to want to work, right? But this one seems to have been bent into strange patterns. And when you look at them for too long, you start to get a slight pain behind your eyes as you're trying to make sense of the patterns you're looking at. Ash doesn't seem to be even looking at them right now. He's more focused on getting his own we'll call it an antenna for now. Getting his own antenna out, his antenna unit, and to try and basically look at where heading into the hut, basically this shack underneath the antenna array. He's hoping there's going to be some tools or something of some kind.
It must be the oxygen.
Those look painful in a odd way.
Airing.
I see it too.
Yeah.
Thought it was the oxygen.
We all see it.
Can you see the pattern? It's very nice.
Yeah, but you should stop staring at it because, I mean, it hurts.
Yeah, okay. But only a bit.
Right, Mr. Lee, everything okay with you over there?
Yep. You're all clear.
Oh.
Good.
Not a sign. I can't see anything moving out here.
All right. Try not to stare at those weird antennae. It's.
I don't know what you're talking about, but
Good.
I'm keeping an eye. I'm scanning around.
Does the other person maybe have the same idea? The surviving guy? Here?
Good idea.
Probably. So yeah, I will keep the dog scouting ahead of us. Do I have to roll anything or?
Not this stage. Nope.
Okay.
The dog is just kind of doing like ever widening sort of perimeter, or what's it doing exactly?
Yeah, when we stand for the little shack in front, he would just walk up a little bit the perimeter to give us a wider range of stuff that we know about. And but if we decide to head inwards, he will join us again.
The dog actually finds a what must be the transport tube, which is, if you imagine a large, imagine like a pipe, a huge, like a very very big pipe, big enough that you can put a train inside, or two trains inside, and then that is buried half into the ground, so you only have this like half of a pipe, kind of, if you will. That's running towards the city. This is this arterial transport line that I was talking about before, that you landed, crashed close to. And the dog has found the entrance to that for this little section that you're in, the sector that you're in.
Okay.
There are no lights. There's no power going to it, so you suspect that there's probably something to do with the power substation you're next to, that has lights on its kind of pylons, but doesn't seem to be any lights on anywhere else. So there's probably some sort of like secondary backup generator or something like that, or backup power, but isn't generating any power itself.
Okay.
And in fact, very shortly after you think this, you hear from Ash, "There's no power. I need power."
Yeah, but we have a little power source of our own, don't we? And I look to Kara, sort of smiling.
Yeah, but probably not enough for like to get things working here. Getting able to an impulse, but not a constant flow.
Yeah, not even for a few minutes. I have no idea how this works in and out game.
I don't either. But let's say Ash knows, right? Probably.
Yeah.
So how do we give you power, Ash?
Well, can one of you? I'll just do it. I'll just do it. We probably have to turn the power on somehow in the in that substation, and it's gonna be easier for me to just do it and to look at how it's been set up than to explain it to you through a video feed or something. So I'll just do it. Don't touch any of my stuff. Don't touch any of my stuff.
We need
Okay.
company.
Yeah.
Sure. Yep. He goes.
Just
The dog is there.
The dog has found something.
yeah.
It's a pipe.
Max, alles gut, komm.
Well,
So Ash goes kind of trotting off to the substation. Who's going with him?
Wood?
I think we all would, are right? Like.
no, I'll guard his things and not touch them.
Okay.
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 Have you tasted your rock yet?
No, I'm gonna do that. Also, place a hand on the house with the weird antennas to see if I can feel that tingly feeling again and hear the fine music.
Not on the thing. Oh, when you took your helmets off, I should say, the music that you heard cut out. Apologies.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah.
I will taste the rock.
If you can imagine taking concrete and like turning it into dust, and then coating like a ball of ice with it, that's basically what you're licking.
Minerals, good.
Minerals. It's chalky. It's got a chalky taste. Yes.
I'll spit some out and then keep guard over the stuff. That's the main plan.
Are you gonna pocket your rock, or are you gonna?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna save it.
All right.
Yeah.
So
the dog would stay with Quake, I suppose, and
keep guard.
Carlos would. Oh no, like I suppose the dog would join you too, just to give you a little bit more observation. Like,
Oh yeah. Okay.
if you need it, I don't know. I think our characters know each other way better. If Kara is also quite an observant character, so Carlos would join, but other way.
Okay. So Kara and Carlos are going into the power station with Ash.
Yeah,
And
let's do
Quake
this, yeah.
and the dog are going to be staying, keeping an eye on the antenna.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. So you make your way in. It's actually not like strangely not locked. Although this being sort of a corporate world, you can actually see that there's like a lot of corporate city. There's like CCTV cameras kind of pointing all over the place. Obviously not working right now, not functioning, you assume. And when Ash tries like a side door, it just opens. And he kind of like mutters like strange.
It's
but
weird.
but kind of keeps going in. And inside, I've never been inside a power relay station, a sort of power substation before. I've only seen them on TV. I'm trying to think about what it looks like. I have no idea really what this one looks like. But there's going to be a bank of controls in some room, probably making up most of the space. There's going to be some machinery. He makes his way to an office, or like the control room, and kind of starts looking over the different controls. So I'm basing this completely off of Fallout 4.
It's
so there's like
sprinkling some humming Tesla coils somewhere.
Banks of controls, and there's like a little glass panel for this room that he's in, looking out on the actual machinery beyond. And what are the two of you going to be doing while he's doing that? Just looking around.
Yeah, watching out for any signs of danger, other occupants or
I
animals.
would like to see if anything in here is active. Like the main power is cut off currently, but the door wasn't locked, so I kind of feel like this feels a bit like something is off. And
Yeah.
I'm kind of wondering
where
if
do you wanna
someone
look?
is watching, or like I'm looking for cameras moving, stuff like that, just miniature
there
things.
are cameras inside too. They're not moving at all. Not that you can
Right.
see. There are actually some lights on. There's like some very faint secondary lights on that are illuminating the inside. Again, not very bright. There's a lot of shadows everywhere. And as you kind of look around, you actually see the panel for the door on the inside, where you came in. It's the like there's like a panel. So there's like a panel where you would like can control it, probably touchscreen, and underneath it there's like a metal plate on the wall with some screws, and you notice that's there's like 2 screws missing opposite from each other, and there's some scratching at the sides, and as you kind of like poke it, it kind of rattles a bit, like somebody's just very roughly like reassembled it. It looks like.
Okay. One has been here.
Can you say when? How long ago?
To tell, like there are just scrapings, and this got quickly assembled, so maybe this person was in a rush, hastily doing it.
Yeah, I'm looking around for like footprints in the. I think that we have kind of dust, probably, inside here.
It's not been like years and years and years, so there's a little bit of dust for sure, but not like thick layers. I mean, I'm saying Fallout 4. It's not like Fallout 4.
Yeah, sure.
yeah.
Do we have flashlights? Probably, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to give this room a sweep and throw some light into the shadows.
Yeah. I mean, you don't see anything. It's not there's not a lot of places for things to hide in here. The one thing that you do notice is that there are windows all around the place, and there is a window that's been broken. The glass is on the inside, and like quite a sizable hole has been made in in the window, enough for somebody to climb through. You also notice that the glass is very thick. It's kind of like protective glass. It's not like, you know, single pane of glass. It's something quite substantial would have had to have been used to like smash through it. But you don't see any like you haven't seen any like signs of violence or anything, and you don't see anything like obvious on the inside that might have broken the glass or anything else. Just there's a smashed window, just one. Yeah. And there's also, kind of unusually, there is a maintenance hatch right in the center of the machinery. You wouldn't expect to see a maintenance hatch. Like, where would it go down to? But you also haven't seen a lot of cables, so you assume that there's probably cables, like a bunch of cables and stuff running under the floor, and this is access potentially to them. But it's like a big hatch. It's like bigger than a sewer like manhole cover.
Mm-hmm.
Probably about like twice the size of one of those. But it is an actual hatch, and it has like a hydraulic handle on it. And there's like a display next to it as well, so you could electronically look at something to do with it. But that's obviously not switched on.
Whatever or whoever broke in here must have broken this glass with either a weapon that leaves no other traces or their own body.
Yeah. They're pretty strong. Huh?
Yeah, and like we are not ground level. We are like second level or second floor, something like that, right?
You don't know. You're on the ground level. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, also I could have
This is all one
smashed
level.
in
There
with
aren't,
my.
there aren't multiple levels here. It's like a.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but basically, even I could have smashed it in with my servo fists, right?
Smash what?
The glass, the window.
You could have with your servo fists for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a
So
industrial.
Yeah.
Thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So like this is the power level we're talking about. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, for those who haven't known, because we did this offline, I think, you have basically like a gigantic hydraulic industrial hand on.
Yeah.
You'd still have your own hand, right? It's
Yeah.
like,
It's an exoskeleton thing. Like yeah.
So it's not like a replacement. It's like this, exoskeleton hand, like for mining purposes or something like that.
Yes, exactly that. Yeah.
So I completely forgot to paint that picture as well.
Fine.
Just as you're kind of like looking at the hatch and kind of wondering, like maybe talking about it a little bit, the power comes on. All the lights in the place come on. You kind of look around. The whole place is lit up. You see Ash's face like come up from behind one of the panels, grinning, and gives you like 2 thumbs up, and starts to come out of the office. You look back to the hatch because you hear like a clicking sound, like a, and the lights. There's like I said there's like a little display next to it. The display kind of comes on, like it's booting. Like a computer booting up, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Should we take a look down the hatch? Would be a shame if someone shot us in the back, or while we attacked us while we are unaware.
Yeah, was this thing even opened without the thingies online?
It was hydraulic, Matt said, so we could.
But you could have
We
tried to
open
open it.
and-
You didn't say you wanted to. You hadn't got that far
Yeah,
yet.
yeah.
So you don't
We
know
haven't got that far.
if it's locked or not. One thing I would say is as the machinery, you're standing in the middle of a power substation. You're surrounded by the machinery that creates the power. It's loud. and the control room where it's all being handled is like behind this like thick glass, and it's in like a separate room. So as it's kind of as the station is powering up, these big, like large pieces of machinery. I'm kind of imagining that they're like how to describe it, like crates kind of, but like welded together. If you it's hard to describe what's in my head. Just like large like metal power conduits, for want of a better word.
Like Tesla coil as
well, no,
something
you can't
like...
tell what's inside of them. There's something like protecting, like surrounding them. Okay. So it's like some sort of like big giant metal cabinets, like round cabinets, if you will, inside this room that
like
are kind of all around you. And they're humming as they're coming online, and it's a loud sound. And then it falls into a rhythm.
Okay.
And the rhythm is pulsing. It's like a pulsing rhythm. And it takes you a moment before you realize the rhythm seems to be like a heartbeat almost. Yeah, it definitely seems to be like a heartbeat.
Yeah. I want to notify Quake via our comms. Just Rasmus can join us and be here like the esoteric expert on stuff like that, or the most interested guy.
Well, Quake actually sees everything because he's outside. Everything starts lighting up around him. There's like street lamps that start popping on. You can see now the transport tube, because there's like lights dotting up along it as it kind of like lights up. This sort of sector that you're in is receiving power now.
Guys, honestly, we also shouldn't stay so long because this really got some attention. I'm pretty sure of that.
Yeah, that's also exactly what Quake says. Oh, you pointed us out. Very neat.
Yeah. I look to Ash, like accusing, like, was this really necessary?
Yeah, but, and you hear Lee over the comms saying, "Ah, shit."
Yeah, shit indeed.
Well, I can see. At least I can see a lot further now, but we need to move.
Yeah. Now we have to go into the relay station, right, Ash?
Yeah. It's gonna have power now for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
We should make this a priority. Can we get something heavy to kind of just block the latch? Like whoever is down there will be just down there.
Do we have like giant iron pole or something like that I can? I suppose it's something like a wheel to pry it open.
No, it's like a large handle.
Okay. Never mind. I can. Do
you know
have something through the handle?
Like sci-fi films where you have like doors and there's like an embedded handle that you kind of like pull on. It's kind of like that, embedded into the hatch.
Okay. Yeah. Do I find something like an iron pole?
There's not that you can find inside the facility. No.
Okay.
But you're looking around for one, taking a moment at a time to look for one.
Nah, I just try to punch and deform the hatch so it's it doesn't open correctly. Maybe I can.
You're gonna try and like smash it a bit, yeah. You're not gonna open it.
Yeah, I won't open it. Yeah.
You're not gonna open Pandora's box that I'm kind of dangling in front of you right now.
No, I just want to block it, shock it. Yeah.
Okay.
Just punch it several times.
You're just getting ready to punch it when your eye catches the screen.
Okay.
And the screen says, it's still black. There's like a blinking cursor at the bottom, like if you've ever seen Microsoft DOS, something like that. And then it spells across, or like the Matrix. You see something come across, just about to punch it. Wait. Like text. Wait.
Yep.
And then it goes down a line. Don't do it.
I look to Kara and Ash. Why not?
Well, in case someone is talking to us. Like,
Let
I
me
really
out.
believe someone was down there.
Pardon? What's
Let
appearing on the
me
screen there?
out.
Who are you?
Not sure they can hear us.
Yeah, you can.
Let me out.
Last try, man. Huh?
For the love of God, let me out.
Have to open the hatch.
Yeah, so do I. It's like, yeah,
You're so easy
can't
to
leave
manipulate.
us whole. Can't leave.
Also, I get that power maul out. Like, I'm ready to punch the person. Like, if
Yeah.
do
Can't
something
ignore
stupid.
One more poor soul being buried alive. So
Just so you're aware, Ash is not in the building with you anymore. While you've been looking at the text, he didn't realize you didn't really say anything, and he's busy going off to the radio. So Quake
okay.
will see him kind of approaching, but not the other two.
Okay.
Okay, who's opening it? Carlos is opening it.
Yeah, I'm opening it, but I have my like with my normal hand, my bare hand, opening, prying the latch open with the other hand, already to punch whatever is coming out there. Can't let another poor soul being buried alive.
You open the hatch, and it's like a shaft with a ladder in the side.
Yeah.
Not anything like you expect. You're expecting to see like a small crawl space or a little workspace with cables and stuff. But this is it looks like a deep shaft going vertically straight down.
Yeah.
And you look in, and like you kind of glance in, like I guess like like that. You don't see anybody.
All right.
Do you want to shine a torch in?
Do I have a torch on my shoulder, maybe, like for
Sure.
the
Like
yeah?
Shine one in.
there's, I mean, the whole thing is lit up now. The building you're in, so there's like light going in, but you didn't like, you're just glancing first, and that's what you see. It's a very deep, dark tunnel. There's no lights in it. Just a ladder, like a simple metal ladder, going down.
Quick glance to Kara.
Come on, asshole, show yourself.
Count to 3. Come out, I'll be buried forever.
Are you looking in with a torch too, or not? Okay. When you shine a torch down,
Come on.
it goes down really far. Like you can't see well, you don't know if you can see the bottom of it, because quite far down there's something yellow in the tunnel. And you're like quite far.
Yeah.
And as you're like shining your light on it, it moves, and it's like it's the visor of a like biochemical suit.
Mm-hmm.
Like a protective suit with like a black visor.
Mm-hmm.
And it just looks up at you like that. But it's very far
Move
down.
it.
Come up, asshole. I count to 3. If you're not moving,
It starts
I
moving.
close the hatch. All right.
And you feel far too quickly for a person. Like maybe twice the speed you would expect a person to be able to move normally.
Yeah. But every one of us is
And
augmented.
it's kind of like, as it's moving, it's making like little jerky movements too as it's coming up. And the visor is like locked, staring at you as it's like coming up the shaft towards you. Sorry, I'm trying to keep this.
No, what? I decided. Decidedly, I slammed the hatch.
Yes, please. This is
And
way too weird.
I pumped on it just to
Okay.
shock it, lock,
Yeah.
Okay.
clamp it.
Yeah.
For the love of God, you sick asshole!
Whatever that was. This had nothing to do with God.
You see some movement catches your peripheral vision. It's the monitor, the display.
Yeah.
And it says one word pops up. Pity.
Well, what are you? You're no human, all right?
No response comes back.
Yeah, if you want to talk to me, no reason to trust you.
There's no. You wait around for a bit. There doesn't seem to be any other response. Your head is now kind of full of this like heart beating, thumping, boom, 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 boom. But it's like this. It's like the machinery around you is kind of thrumming. So it's hard to explain. It's like this, like, imagine that there's this like sort of like machinery hum around you, but then at the back, like over the top of it, it's like this like that's rough on the throat. Bloody hell. So there's this like this. It's almost like starting to give you a headache almost.
All right, Cobalt, I think we should go.
Probably.
You don't hear. There's no like nothing smashing on the other side of the hatch or anything trying to get out, anything like that. It definitely would have reached the hatch by now if it would have kept moving at the pace it was moving at. The poor person that you left in this strange tunnel shaft thing.
Carlos does feel bad for them, but
Yeah.
I'm also scared to shit.
You want to leave?
Yeah, I look to Kara and say, "All right, little Cobalt, we should head out now."
Probably.
Okay. Quake, moving over to you
Yes.
very quickly. Ash is working inside the substation, and he still hasn't glanced up to look at the antenna.
Well,
He's not really that focused on that. He's more focused about like checking the panels, that sort of thing. Yeah.
but to compensate, I think Quake looks up, every other 30 seconds.
Oh yeah.
And then checks the surroundings and checks
It's
up
like
again.
it's like licking a concrete rock, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You know it's not good for
feeling
you,
of-
but you just can't help yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, I tried to figure out which pylon is connected to what and what
Yeah,
the tower is.
it's like
And
a
it's really
knot.
hard.
It's like
Yeah.
a knot, but strangely geometric as well. Not like not like it's kind of gotten soft, the metal, and been kind of twisted into a knot, but more like it's been rearranged a bit. So it still has like very right angles and things like that, but it's and you kind of look at it just long enough before you're like, something's not right with that. Something's not right. You have to look away again. There are lights kind of blinking on it now that the power's come back on, but they're blinking in kind of random areas. And in fact, the main antenna isn't kind of pointing straight up anymore. It's kind of down at an angle. And in fact, you can get the impression maybe the 6th or 7th time you look at it, that you have a feeling that there's like the lights and stuff. They're trying to tell you something.
Oh yeah, exactly. I'll try to
You need to get closer.
which
though.
direction. Oh yeah, I'm gonna climb up then.
Okay.
I need to understand the pattern. There's meaning in this.
Yep. Yeah, you climb up the side of the shack. In fact, just as Kara and Carlos are coming out of the power station, they can maybe just see you in the distance, because everything's lit up now. That you're like, it doesn't take you very long. It's only like 3 meters high, the roof, right? So you're up there fairly quickly, and there is a ladder inside. It starts off for the first sort of, again, maybe 3 or 4 meters, going up into this if it hadn't been kind of distorted, what would have been a very large antenna relay. For the first 3 or 4 meters, it's kind of there. It's nothing's been changed with it. But then at some point, it starts getting integrated into the redefined shape.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, I mean, you can see that there's some lights inside, like it's not like you're looking at it and it's like 2-dimensionally everything has been rearranged. It's all 3-dimensionally kind of also been kind of changed. And you can see that there's some lights blinking on the inside, and there's a pattern. You're sure there's a pattern.
Yeah.
You don't know what it is yet, but if you can just get closer, you can probably see there's some lights that you can't quite see yet. It'll make itself. It's gonna make sense.
Oh,
Yeah,
wait.
I need to.
Sorry.
Yeah. Hey, Lee, can you perhaps see where this is pointing from your vantage point? I need to check this out. It might be a clue.
Quake, just do your thing. Look, I'm just trying to make sure nobody creeps up on us, all right? I'm not staring at that weird thing.
Thank you. And I'll climb up into the wonderful lights and the beautiful
What the heck
pain
is
in my head.
Looney doing?
I don't know.
They shock him.
Yeah,
You're not there yet.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Like
I
come out of
thought
the
we see
power
him
station.
climbing.
You've come out of the power station. He's like 2 buildings away, like two
All right.
plots away. So you can just see him in the distance, like kind of.
So,
it won't
so
take
it's
you long to get there. It'll take
because
you,
you
like,
can't
a couple
stop
of
me,
minutes to
but
get
you'll
there.
see me go up.
You can see him climbing up as you're coming out of the power
Yeah.
station.
Yeah, that's cool.
So where's Ash? Do we see Ash, or is Ash also?
Ash is
also
inside
already...
inside the little shack.
Could have
You
waited
see,
for
you
us.
can't see.
Great. Everyone's splitting up.
Lee says,
Right. Yeah.
like in your comms. I'm assuming you all have like a little earpiece or something that you're kind of
Yeah.
talking to each other.
Yeah.
Lee says, I'll come with you. I'm kind of bored up here. There's no one around.
Yeah, better stick together.
Yeah, and we need to get moving as well.
Yeah. Okay. Good. We wait for you, and I would calm Ash, say, wait a second. We're meeting up here in front of the building.
Oh.
All right,
I hear
Quinn,
that.
whatever you're doing up there, hurry up.
I'll hurry up.
Yeah.
Maybe this is pointing to the core or something.
Yeah. I don't want to spread any disquiet, but there is a creepy motherfucker down there in the power station. We locked him up for good, but who knows who else is lurking around here.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah, so always
Where-
let's keep an eye on each other, right? Look to the dog and looks to you, Quake.
I'm gonna ask for
trying
the
to-
first roll of the game,
Uh-oh.
and it's gonna be a bit of an unusual one. Quake is gonna make the roll. So if you open your character sheet, Rasmus. In fact,
Yeah,
if all of you, there's in the very bottom left of your screen, you'll see a little folder icon with an arrow above it. If you click the arrow, you'll see a little macro bar appear. You see that?
Oh.
And
Yeah.
you should each have both a pair of dice and your character sheet on that macro. Do you see that?
Mhm.
If you click on your character, it'll open your character sheet. And if you click on the pair of dice, it will open up a little dice menu. I forgot to tell you about this. Okay?
Yeah.
So, Rasmus, I want you to click on both of those. One to open your character sheet, and the second one to open the pick dice thing.
Yeah.
And basically what you're going to be rolling is you're going to be rolling tech as the attribute with observe as the skill, which is under cool, if you see that. So it's a D and a C.
Yeah.
So on here, where it says skill, if you just type in like tech plus observe, so we know, because it's going to show up in the chat. And then because you're rolling a D6 plus a D8, for the D6 and the D8 sections of this thing, just the sliders, just move them one of those each, so it's showing one of each.
Yep, check.
And then at the bottom, click confirm, and it will roll the dice.
Come on.
Okay.
Okay,
What?
and if you click then, in the chat dialogue,
Yeah.
if you click on where it says 1d6, 1d8, it'll
Yeah.
show you what you rolled as well for later. And the 0 means that there were no successes. So you
Yeah.
rolled a 4 and a 4. So You're just on the cusp of thinking you figured it out.
I'm gonna push this. I'm gonna
Yeah?
risk it. Yeah.
Okay.
So how do you do that?
That's
Do I do
a
the same
really good-
again?
That's a really good question. Give me a second.
Yeah.
I think you have to. There's something you have to do, which is.
Oh,
I
if
think it
it's
takes-
complicated, I can skip it.
No,
but
no, no. It's not going to be complicated. I just got to find where it is. And I mean, this is a core part of the mechanics. I should really know.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. Just go ahead and push the roll. I think you're going to take a bit of either resolve or health damage, we'll say for now.
Yeah.
I'll look it up.
So I'll just roll the same thing again.
Exactly the same thing again, yeah.
Let's see here. Nope. Come on, come on, come on. Nope.
A 1 hit
Nope.
2.
I'm getting stuck in the cat tower.
You're
It's
climbing
not-
deeper into it, like you're finding ways to kind of like squeeze into it. As you're trying to find like you're almost making sense of it, but you're not quite getting there. And I want you to drop your resolve. This is the do you see on your character sheet you have health
The
and
R.
resolve near the top, the R? Just lower that down
Check.
to 1 so it's down to 3.
Done.
And Karen, Carlos, you've now gotten to the bottom, like you've gotten to the, with Lee, you've gotten to the, this shack, this antenna. And as you look up, you're trying not to look at the shape of the thing, but you can kind of see Quake, like half of Quake is out of sight. Like the lower half of his body is standing on this ladder, and the second half of him is like inside this weird, like,
Sorry.
geometric mess that still is hurting your head while you're looking at it.
Jake, can you come down at your own will, or do I have to bring you down?
Am I stuck or am I just?
I mean, it was a little tight, but you don't think
Yeah.
I mean, you should be able to get out.
Yeah, I think I can come out. Is it?
Yeah, you should.
You really don't want to come out though. You're
But-
on the
but-
verge of
Yeah.
verge of figuring it out. Whatever it is, it is. You're on the
There's
verge.
there's a pattern here. I can see it, but I don't know it yet.
Yeah, the pattern is currently eating you. You're half stuck in there.
But only 5 more minutes.
I have to shock you. Counting to 3.
Please not. Please don't.
1,
Please don't.
2.
Okay, I'm coming down. I'll try to wiggle down, but it's slow because I really want to see a bit
Oh,
more. But I don't
actually,
really
you're stuck.
understand. Oh.
Oh no.
It's like
Kara.
it was a tight fit, but there was no worry that you were like gonna get stuck when you were climbing up. But now it's like you're held in a vice around your middle.
Ow. I might
Not
need
not
that
painfully, not painfully. If you
Yep.
move too much,
Okay.
it hurts. But
Yeah.
you can't budge. You can't go up or down now. And in fact, right in front of your eyes, there's 2 lights blinking, and they're absorbing your attention. These 2 lights,
Oh.
because the way they're blinking, it's not. It's almost like it's Morse code or something.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah.
they're both blinking in different ways, also irregularly. Like they're both trying to tell you something.
But Kara, I might need the chock anyway because I really can't go. It's something. They're talking. I think.
I go up there. I
Just
go
as you're
up.
about to, as you're about to get onto the, put your foot on the ladder, Ash comes out of the shed, and he's like, "Our antenna's working. It's working. We can call this ship whenever we need it. Are we ready to
Okay.
go?"
No.
Almost.
Lee has wandered a bit further beyond, and he's actually like pulled out a cigarette. He's just having a smoke now, looking back at you, and you can see he's kind of shaking his head.
Yeah, I look up to you two critically. while Karis is stalking the parameters, looking for any life signs, especially keeping an virtual eye on the power station and the ground. If anything, any life signs come from there.
Okay. You don't see, currently you don't see anything yet.
Can I shock antenna to disrupt patterns and stuff that Quake is seeing there?
Say that again. Sorry.
Can I kind of send an electric impulse shock through the antenna to kind of disrupt that thingy? Not a deadly one. I don't wanna hurt Quake as much. Just to kind of interrupt the impulses.
Mm-hmm. You're gonna use your taser thing, yeah. Which is called a taser baton, yeah. Okay. Sure. You kind of climb up.
I can adjust the strength of it.
Yeah. You can start out small.
Yes.
Just asking.
I don't want to fry Quake. I just want to interrupt.
He's wedged in there.
Like Winnie the Pooh in the Honey Tree.
You set it to its smallest setting. You flick it on, and it's kind of like arcs. There's a bit of like arcing electricity on it, and you touch it to the base of the antenna. And Quake, you do get a little bit of a shock, but it's touching you in lots of different ways. And as it's touching you, where you're touching it, you can feel. Have you ever worn these like bone headphones? I can't forget what they're called exactly. Were they?
No.
Have you heard of them?
I've heard of them. Yeah.
So I've actually bought some and tried them out and then returned them because I got a weird like ringing in my ears while I was listening to them. But it's basically it has these like it vibrates your eardrum without putting anything into your ears. And you can hear everything. It's like headphones like that. Well, this is kind of similar. You're getting these vibrations, and you can hear sounds for the moment that it's happening.
Yeah.
And it sounds like your own voice. What are you talking?
Groovy.
Like that.
Ow.
Just a clip.
Yeah.
What are you talking?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh.
Kara's looking up, and you're like, you saw him like give a little bit of a jerk, but now he seems even more engrossed.
Yeah. I heard it. It talked to me. I talked to me. What? Well, I'll try to get out if I can. But I
really want to help him to get out.
I mean, from where you're standing, it doesn't look like he's being held. It looks like he could just climb down.
It's a pattern.
This is your pattern. Like your behavior is a pattern, but man, you can just climb down. And see that you're stuck. You're just hanging there.
It's holding me. It's holding me, like a a hug or a mother. Yeah.
I had a mother, and she never held me like that.
Oh no!
I have never had a mother, I think.
Yeah, trust me on that. I mean, come man, snap out of it.
Yeah.
If you try and move, it definitely feels like. I mean, you kind of like how you're kind of wiggled into the spot you're in right now.
Yeah.
You can't really look down very easily, but you can feel it. There's something holding you around the middle, and you. Not like hands. Not like hands, but like the bars of the. You're sure the bars of the thing, and you're like you're trying. If you try and climb down or try and move down, it's holding you in place.
Yeah. Oh. I'll try climb upwards then.
As soon as you start shifting upwards, you feel the pressure release.
Yeah.
And you take another step on the wrong up.
It wants me to go up.
Kara, you see him going up rather than down.
Can we join via com? Do we hear this?
Sure.
Yeah.
I want you to come down for fuck's sake. We have no time for this.
But
Shit.
it's holding me, Carlos.
Yeah, I can hold you in the shuttle back, but we need you now down here.
But I'll see if I can find another way down.
Oh, Kara, pull him at his feet and just rip him out there.
Not sure if that's. Oh, Can I reach him? I don't think so, right?
I mean, his feet are still sticking out. He took another step up, so it's kind of like around the start of like where he's disappearing into the structure is like around his bum. Yeah. Before it was like
Alright.
it was like his waist. He's taking a step up. It's kind of moving down a bit. So you can definitely get to his feet, his legs, and pull. Or he's big. Is he bigger than you? Probably a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a teenager. I'm like 15. I'm small and like kind of scrawny.
My body is high, but I don't think I'm bulky. I think I'm just resilient.
But you're also like more than 10 years older, so you're like an adult.
Yeah.
Yeah. You probably weigh a bit more. I mean, it's not going to be fun to have someone falling on top of you. We didn't talk about gravity. Just to make this easier, it's something I completely forgot to think about. We didn't discuss, so can we just go with it's kind of maybe a slightly lighter than Earth gravity, but similar to Earth gravity?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Somehow, maybe through the magic of science fiction, or whatever needs to float your boat for an answer.
No gravity.
Maybe down that tunnel, there's an answer that you could have found.
Oh.
You'll never know. You'll
Could have
never
been.
know.
Maybe.
Down the maintenance shaft.
Or Carol, are you grabbing me or trying to pull me down?
I'm absolutely trying and kind of try to pull your foot.
Okay. So Quake feels you feel your leg being grabbed.
Mhm.
One leg, I guess you're gonna like pull his like foot off the ladder. Kara, you're close to him now. You're on the ladder yourself. There's no way he can't climb down. Like you can almost. I mean, he's in there. Like if he leaned back and let go of the ladder, he would probably stay where he is because there's enough stuff to like support him. But if he just kind of wiggled a bit and climbed down, you're absolutely certain he could come down without any issues. Quake, you feel your leg being kind of like pulled free.
Yeah.
Come on, man, come down. There is nothing holding you. It's kind of it's all in your head.
But it's so much in my head. But I'll try. I like my friends. I'll try to climb down again, but I'm guessing it's not gonna work. But I want to. I really want to.
You come down a step, so you are actually able to come down a step. You feel the pressure around your waist again, and there's just on the edge of your hearing, there's a ringing, like a high pitched. You know, he gets like ringing in your ears.
Yeah.
Just very faint, just starting. And Kara, you can hear this too.
Can you
No one
hear
else
the
can.
alarm?
I shake my head and I just pull more, and I'm kind of trying to help him down. It's not like I'm not ripping him out. It's like more stabilizing and trying to make him move down.
I'll try to do it. But I'm guessing it's gonna be difficult for me.
If you try and because Kara's telling you that there's nothing holding you, should be able to climb, but you can feel something there. But as you try and like push past it, like you're just trying to squeeze through this narrow opening, you are able to take a step down. And in fact, as soon as you kind of take that step, the pressure vanishes. But the ringing in your head doubles. It's now loud.
Oh, this is not good. It's
I hear that
hurting me.
doesn't really want us to go, but I don't know. We need to get away from this. I'm like in my head, I'm singing Old MacDonald Had a Farm to
Well,
drown it
you're
out.
just about to try and start singing when you think you hear yourself saying, "Out of this," like repeating you back. And Quake, you hear Kara repeat herself, "Out of this," but fainter the second time.
Did you hear that, Kara?
It
No.
was me. Come on, let's get out.
Stay.
Kind of still pushing through.
Stay. What?
Kara, you
what
can
are
hear
you
yourself talking to Quake at the same time in your head. Quake, you can hear her, and you can hear her saying two different things.
Wow. Can't you decide either? I want to leave with you, but also want to stay.
I'm pulling. This is freaking me out. This is weird. I'm not talking anymore. I'm just pulling.
The core.
Whatever this is, it's echoing.
The core. You hear yourself.
The core. Where is it?
We
Tell
found it.
us.
We found it, didn't we? I can show it to you.
Yeah, show me. Show me. I'll climb upwards. I need to see this.
You're going back up?
Yeah.
Kara, what's Kara doing? You hearing the same words? Carlos has no idea what's going on.
Kind of
What's
hitting
taking
the
you so
comm.
long there? Huh?
I'm kind of I'm holding on, but I'm also hitting in the comm, relaying it to the others, being like, hey, something is talking to us, saying it. They found the core and can show us.
Yeah, probably the creepy fucker in the shaft. Quake, come down! No! That's a command. And I've got a chain of command. I got a up one step to persuade or street when using it to taunt or command others. Would it be okay for you if I do this? If I order you? It's
For me, it's totally okay.
Yeah. I don't think we need a dice roll for this or anything.
Okay.
For PCs to yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, if I can, I will try to climb down again. Then it's Rasmus wants to go on with the adventure, but the character really wants to see the point of the towers. It's very interesting.
But you're gonna climb down regardless, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna climb down. Oh, sorry, Carlos. Yes.
You hear Carlos's voice again. Belay that. Go back up. Take a look at the goddamn point. The point of the antenna. We've only got one shot. Do you want the core
okay,
or not?
Carlos. I want to see the core. Yeah. I climb up again then.
What the fuck are you doing? Down now! Oh, Kara, can you shock his balls out?
Going to shit himself.
I don't care if he shits himself. I want him to go down now.
You hear Lee come in over the radio. Are you quite finished?
No, we are not. It's a dire
Ash?
situation here.
Can Ash help?
Oh.
Sounds like I don't know what's going on over there. It's very confusing. Sounds like you're getting some sort of electrical response from that antenna. Why don't you just shut off the power to it?
Maybe a good idea. All right.
I'll try to climb down, but if he tells me to go up again, I will do that as well. I'm following orders.
There's nothing holding you now. And you take a couple
Gem.
of steps. You're kind of only in there up to like your shoulders. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is Kara climbing out, or Alf?
Can I gem the antenna?
How?
I have an app that. I don't know. Like if there's
nowhere to interface with it here, but there might be deeper in at the top. There's probably some sort of place you can jack into it.
Come on, join me.
And definitely down in the control room, this like little hut. There's definitely places where you can interface with it as well. So that's where Ash is heading right now.
not going to get sucked into this antenna because this hurt my head and it was kind of creepy.
It's still happening too, right now.
So I want to go down and try to interfere with the antenna, kind of just.
You're almost like you're less than a meter from the bottom of the ladder. You can just jump off.
Sure, I'll do that.
The moment you let go, the ringing stops, like a switch was shut off. And Quake, you hear in your head Kara's voice. Look, we made a mistake. Just go back up again. It won't take a minute. I need you to find something for me.
I look down. Is Kara's mouth moving?
You can see she's rubbing her head and maybe looking up at you.
Yeah.
But
yeah, she's kind of shaking and clearing her vision and is looking up at you and being like,
I'll jump down as well then.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We won't make you roll for like falling damage or anything.
Oh, thank you.
But let's just say you kind of land a little bit heavily as you're falling. But again, the moment you let go, and maybe as you land, as you let go and you're falling, you notice again for a split second that you're falling, that the sound gets switched off. And when you land hard, you kind of like to stabilize, stabilize yourself. You grab onto the rung of the ladder again, and the ringing comes back immediately, and you can hear your own voice saying, "What are you doing? Don't you want it?"
I let go again. Oh, that was odd. I heard you tell me to go up, Kara.
I said that. I wanted you to come down.
But you heard it too. Kara heard it too.
But yeah, I heard
Did you
the
hear
same
Carlos
things.
tell me to go up as well?
I hear that.
I didn't say shit. Told you to come down.
Well, you say shit a lot, but you didn't this time.
Yeah, because I'm confronted with a lot of shit. Now come down.
You hear Ash's voice.
To keep moving.
Guys.
Ash, what's going on? Whoop! I'm running in.
He's pointing at like the controls and he's saying, "I've shut it down. The banks are all telling me that this place is shut down, but it's still sending and receiving."
Cool. I'm guessing I'm joining them down at the ground level, and I will try to take a compass reading or something for the direction it's pointing, because I still think there's a clue up there.
It's pointing off to the left, kind of towards that big building where the footsteps were heading towards from the other crash site.
Yeah.
Okay. I pat your back. Like
suddenly,
roughly...
you all smell cigarette smoke in this small room. Lee is standing in the doorway with his cigarette. He takes another huge drag. This goes right down to the end of a cigarette. And then he just blows it really loud into the room. Are we done here?
Wait, weren't Lee and me standing in front of the building?
Oh, I thought you went in. Yeah, but Lee walks to the doorway when everyone else is in the doorway.
Yeah, just want to clarify, this is not like evil doppelganger Lee.
No.
We could have noticed. Yeah. Okay.
Not yet. Thank you for the idea.
Hey, you're welcome.
Yeah. I think it was pointing towards the building. The big one over there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure anymore if it's a good plan, but I had an idea that the resonance core might have changed stuff.
A lot of stuff seems to have changed here. Okay. What is getting dangerous? Like the bigger building is closer to the center point of the city, to the city center, or equally on the outskirts?
It's like to your left along the outskirts of the city.
Okay.
And it would probably take you about 10, with the lights on and stuff, it would probably be like a 10-minute walk-ish, I think.
Okay.
Not too far away. It's completely the opposite direction to the transit
Okay.
transit tunnel.
Okay.
Well, you can find the transit tunnel really easily as well now because it's lit up. It's got like these bright lights going along it to make it easy to find.
Yeah, but we have no other clue where the residence core might be, except like roughly in the center of the city, right?
That was your intel. Was that it's there's a lab, like the main facility for this moon is kind of around the center. You can't see the map. I'll show our people watching on the video. But there's basically in the center of the map there's this like white square. And these are all the white bits are roads. I don't know if you can see it, but the idea in my head was that there's like triangular bit of blue off the main square, and that triangular bit is basically, according to the maps that people have been able, that your intel provided you with, that's like the main offices for the corporation on the moon.
Yeah.
And that's where it's assumed the residence core will be. Although it's possible it's not there. It could be somewhere else.
Well, could be useful. Could be a trap. Could be any more delays.
Yeah.
Let's
We
take
still-
let's take a quick break.
Yeah.
Okay.
If everyone's right, because I just look at the time. It's 10 o'clock for us.
Okay.
And I'll put the little like overlay up for people watching on YouTube, and then we can have a little, or you can have a little chat if you come back. So we'll take like a 10-minute break, something like that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Let's do this. I can make some tea.
Yep. So we're back in 10 minutes.
Right.
And maybe have a plan on where to go.
Yeah.
Probably.
Grand
See you.
See you.
And yes, I realize this is the wrong campaign that I'm showing right now. Apologies. Haven't had a chance to change it. Okay, we're back. So, there's not really a consensus yet. Player characters want to follow the players want to follow the clue. The player characters want to head into the city. Maybe not Quake. Quake probably is very interested in following the clue, right?
The antennas. The antennas is the truth. Yeah, that's what Quake thinks.
Yeah.
We should also like see if anyone is following us, if they are an enemy party, an opponent, or if they are possible allies. So would be good to know what's around. But if what's around knows we are there, or also, well, we ought to also be in some kind of danger. So.
Oh yeah, they could be evil corpos.
You also don't know when the crash happened. So I don't know. I didn't want to give the impression that it was like recent necessarily. It could have been. There was no way to know. Just that there was still some very small amount of power, powering some lights in the cockpit, but you don't know how long that could last.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. 10 minutes walk, like 20 minutes, then back to the.
We could also
tube. So we could half an hour plus any time we spend in the building. Yeah.
Okay.
What do you think? Want to do this? We as players think that's interesting.
Yes.
So our characters could justify it, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Rasmus think it's I think it's really, really a fun plot to go to see the crazy tower thingy. But
Carmen, what do you think?
Yeah. Hello, naturally.
Okay.
yes.
You know who you're talking to.
A very rational, reasonable player, as I've come to know.
Yeah, that's true, but still, I'm curious as fuck. So
That's true.
Are you keeping an eye around you while you're walking there?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Doggo is circling us right somehow.
Guys, do we know anything about life on this?
As in like alien life or non-alien life, as you would put it?
Like not just the inhabitants of this surrounding, and not just, but that inhabited this.
I mean, we're kind of putting our own spin on the setting. I would suggest that there's been no contact with any kind of extraterrestrial life in the universe so far.
Sure.
So kind of not that far off from where we are today in that respect.
Yeah, and I thought like the planet was kind of off limits or a secret until
not a secret. Like you can't populate a moon, terraform a moon, and keep it completely secret. What they're getting up to is a corporate intellectual property. So that's not been necessarily, the competitors will probably know that they're working on something. They might not know exactly what it is. Your information has revealed that it's something called a resonance core, but you have no idea what that means. And you were also told that there is a faction of kind of what people write off as like crazy cultists who are also potentially coming here too.
Okay.
Called Bell Tower.
Okay.
Oh, I feel like Quake has a problem in its future. Yeah, that's fun.
And the only thing you probably know about the Bell Tower, because they're kind of, I guess this would have been in your briefing, they believe in deciphering what they call the chime, which is a transmission that only they can perceive, that they believe is from some sort of extraterrestrial origin, is what people think that they know, but there's no one's really sure beyond the chime that there's this thing called the chime, and that's kind of the public thing that they have let known, is that they're trying to decipher the chime.
Okay.
So a chime, resonance, Maybe a link
Naturally,
there.
they're interested. Yeah. Okay, so we head to the bigger building. Probably.
Should we,
Hmm?
Carlos? You are savvy, and Lee, you are too. Should we do some kind of, you know, double back to see if someone is following us, or should I hide and see if someone is following you guys when you walk on?
Got Karis to keep watch our back.
Oh, good. That's better.
Yeah, maybe Lee. Check out the next building next to this and give us like some cover.
Oh, it's gonna take too long. I'll take point.
Okay.
Let's just get a move on. There's no one around. I've been looking around for what feels like ages. Haven't seen anyone.
Not the right time to get sloppy. Things are not like elsewhere.
Well, Lee, you haven't.
I've seen this thing in the shaft. And Kara has too.
Oh,
It tends to be a human, but
what was that?
What? What shaft? What are you talking about?
in the power station, next to the control room was a shaft, like little crawl space to work for the cables. I thought. Want to seal it, smash it in, so nothing can come out. Something broke in through the window. Want to smash it there next to the hatch on display. Someone started talking to me to let them out. Not let them buried alive down there. Show mercy. With the grace of God. Something like that.
Oh,
Could have been a survivor, so I very cautiously opened that thing. And, well, saw something down there. Like a yellow hazard suit. Black Wizer couldn't see a face. Then it came crawling up. Way too fast. Way too jerky. This is not human anymore. If it ever was.
He lights up a cigarette.
Mhm.
So, you're telling me that you just sealed some poor fucker into their fate? Is that what you're telling me? They asked you to let them out. You opened the hatch, gave them a glimpse of life, and then just sealed them in again?
Oh, listen, you didn't see it, you asshole.
You're a heartless bastard, Carlos. I knew you were a little bit mean, but...
I stop it. I saw it too, and it wasn't human. It was running up the tube like an insect. It was fast, and it was working, moving its joints in a way that no human ever could. And all this time, it never moved his head.
oh,
This
could it been an android?
The fucker was probably, either an android stuck down there or is, been stuck in a tube for like for who knows how long, and his joints are stiff.
Yeah, if stiff joints, you wouldn't crawl twice as fast as a normal human would do, right?
No, that's
It's
true.
an android that can chill down there till someone else gets to rescue it.
Well, look,
It gives a little bit more context in their calls for help.
I wouldn't have even opened the hatch to start off with. So we're not on a rescue mission. I could care less. Let's just get on. I'm just a little bit surprised at you, Carlos. That's all.
Fuck you, man.
Yeah. Come on.
Okay.
Lee, you know those things are gonna kill you one day.
What are you, my mom?
No.
Fuck you, Quake.
We are
Well,
a great family.
Not here and not now.
In your dreams. In your dreams.
Oh,
All right.
You don't know. Quake smiles like a mischief.
Knows.
He made a funny.
He made it funny. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, you start making your way along. I guess you're all keeping an eye out as well, right?
Oh yeah. I tried to look for tracks and stuff as well. I'm guessing I know stuff about that. So.
Sure. You don't see any tracks, but one thing you do notice very quickly is the next building along as you start moving in the direction you're heading is another... it's actually not a finished building. There's a lot of construction going along in this sector, you realize. There's a lot of unfinished buildings. There's a lot of scaffolding around, that sort of thing. as you're kind of moving away from this area where the power station was, and you see that there's a big pane of glass, or like multiple panes of glass for probably to be installed in one of the buildings, and one of them has been smashed. There's like glass everywhere.
Oh.
But they're kind of like propped up against a building, like the bricks of a building or the concrete spacer bricks. You know, hasn't been the building hasn't been finished. And these big panes of glass, they're kind of leaning against it, and yeah, we'll say there's like 4 panes of glass, and the second one along is just shards of it. And again, you can't see anything as you're walking past. It's like on the side of the road as you're walking past. You don't see any sign of like bullet holes in the wall or any signs that the wall behind it has been damaged in any way.
I just, while we're walking past, I said, someone did this.
Something.
Oh, yeah. Oh, scaffolding. Is it also tied up in a knot? Quake is looking at
Nope.
it.
Nope.
No, boring scaffolding. Let's go on.
But you do take a look back.
Yeah.
And you're really certain that the antenna is pointing directly where you're heading right now. This ever so slight, like where it's kind of like bloop.
Good. It's this way.
The next house along doesn't have any glass, actually. If it did, who knows what would have been the case. Yeah, you keep moving. Eventually, you come to a house. I guess you're all looking for glass now.
Do we have any reflections? Pardon. Do we have any reflections in the glass?
Yeah.
Can we see each other? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and you look like yourselves. It's all normal. Yeah.
Yeah. Just smiling weirdly. Yeah.
The next house along you come to, which is about another couple of minutes down the road, it's just off the road a little ways. It looks like maybe a warehouse or something, and there's some windows a bit higher up, and one of them has been smashed. Just the one.
Only one.
And no glass on the outside, of the building. So.
Okay. Is it the same number of, number 2 or number 5? Or...
There's two windows on the outside from where you're looking, and one of them's broken. The other one isn't.
Okay.
Someone is very keen not to use any doors.
Maybe someone doesn't understand the concept of doors.
Or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the dog is keeping an eye behind you.
Yeah, I think it would be circling, sort of, but that would be quite big, as a wide perimeter, so it would take a while.
And you're getting the feed again, you're getting a little off to the side of your face. Like if you glance to the left, you can see this floating display being patched in. Okay. At one point, you think the dog is kind of trotting. You think you see a person, a shape, very briefly, inside one of these unfinished construction sites as the dog is trotting past. The dog doesn't seem to have seen it or recognized it, but you're pretty sure you saw something.
Yeah, I give the dog the command to adjust to this, be careful, but investigate this or sneak up to it. Gesundheit, Carmen.
Possess you.
Thanks.
Yep. The dog trots back, and there's nothing there. Must have been your imagination.
Fucking twat. All right.
It was kind of a bit dark. You couldn't make out any details or anything, but it looked like it quite possibly could have been like a person. That sort of general shape.
Yeah. Yeah, I would give the dog the order just to be a little bit quiet and monitor the vicinity. If anything, anyone out of the half-finished building moves out to follow us.
I mean, there's like unfinished buildings all around the area.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Yeah. So whatever follower we have could just move from unfinished building to unfinished building without ever being up in the open. You
Yep.
mean?
Your dog should be able to have software that will recognize people as well and give you an immediate alert if you're not paying attention. And it didn't do that either. So
Okay.
you're kind of half convinced that it was you must have been seeing things or jumping in shadows, that sort of thing. So I'll move closer to my mic. I'm kind of drifting away.
Okay.
Yeah. You continue on your way, and nothing else happens. Looming up ahead of you is the building.
Matt, if we are passing any more broken glass, I will pick up a piece and put in my bag.
Sure. Yeah. There's one more building before you get there that has glass in the windows, a finished building. It looks like you're not actually sure what it is. It could be a single level like office building or of some description. There's a lot of glass, a lot of glass windows, and one of them has been smashed, just the one. And it's on the inside, so you have to kind of go in, like it's been smashed in. So you have to either climb in through the window to get a piece of glass, or like there's some still left in the window frame. You could like maybe like crack a piece out.
Yeah, I think the scene is better in my head if I walk up to the window pane and then pick one from the frame.
It's stuck fast, and it's like a good more than a centimeter thick. It's very thick glass, so you'll have to like use a lot of force to like get a piece out.
I want it, so
okay.
Or if it's can I? Do I feel like it takes too long to jump in and get some? Then I'll try to break this up. But otherwise,
it's up to you. I mean, it's probably easier to just hop in because these also they're not high up. They're like up to your like waist level, so you could.
I'll jump in and get one.
Okay.
I like to go into stuff we are deciding now.
Give me an observe roll, please.
Oh yeah. Okay. It's only observe, or is it observe
it's
and
cool plus observe. Yeah. So you've got a D10 plus a D8 on this one.
A D10 and a D8. Hopefully it's gonna work. Come on. No! Oh! Right.
We have to get above 6, or
you've got to get a 6 or higher. Yeah. So 6 is
on a single roll. Yeah.
So I rolled a 5 and a 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still the year 0 engine, so you have to. It's like individual dice are looked at individually.
Yeah. I'm not gonna push this. It's not that important. I'll just.
Okay.
Or do I fall over and hurt myself, perhaps?
No. This is an observe roll. So.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Not at all. Okay.
Okay. I'll pick up the glass and just walk over.
You kind of like look around, and there's like, as you pick up the glass, you're just kind of like looking in the building, of course, as you would. And there's some very weird shapes inside. It's very dark in here. The lights haven't, like, the power's on in this sector, but whoever was last in this building turned all the lights off, as a good custodian would do, and not left them on. But there's some like odd shapes deeper into the building, but you're not here to investigate the building. Nothing's moving.
Yeah. Goodbye. And I jump out again.
Okay. Yep. All right. After
good. No one answered. That was felt good.
No one answered you back. No one answered you back.
That's good.
After a few more minutes, you make your way to the. You've reached this building, and it looks like it's a huge building, much bigger than any of the buildings you've seen so far. And there is the hum of like machinery working inside. A different type of hum to the the hum of the power station. And the door, when Lee reaches it, he kind of puts his hand on it, pushes on it. It doesn't open. It seems to be locked.
I have a mechanical lockpick.
You do. Yeah, let's use it. So basically the way the mechanical lockpick works is if you're trying to pick a lock without a lockpick set, you get a step down to your attempt. But with the lockpicks, then you can just attempt it normally. And if you look, it should tell you on your gear. If you click on it, it should tell you what you're rolling for. It says agility there. Yeah. So agility is under flex. So flex now it's double A. So wow. You just need a single 6 to try and unlock the latch. This does appear to be a mechanical lock as well, rather than some sort of like key, like a display. So.
Oh, I roll agility. Is it no?
You click down on the bottom left on your macro where these 2 dice are. Have you opened that up?
Already did that. Yes.
Right. Yeah. Then agility. Type into the skill, and then D12. You just move it to the 2 slider. So it's got 2 on the D12, and then click confirm.
Right. D12. Wow.
Okay, a 12 is 2 successes. Anything at 10 or higher counts as 2 successes. So, yeah, you're kind of wiggling the pins for the lockpick there, and you manage to pop it open. And yeah, you head inside, or you open the door, I should say. You push the door open. Lee has put his sniper rifle over his shoulder, and he's pulled out his shotgun. And he has a torch, a flashlight hooked up to it. 1 second. So I just had to check there was no yellow people on the other side of my green screen there. No, I was just I'm talking and everyone's asleep and I just checking. I remember to close the door.
Yeah.
Switches his light on. So he basically is kind of going in sort of tactical mode with a shotgun kind of held and a torch strapped to the top of it pointing inside. So he's basically, and before he steps in, he just says like, let's keep it quiet, right? And steps into the building.
Carmen, you said you could save stuff like as in style.
Yeah. I said that.
Okay, so who's going in after Lee? Ash isn't keen to go in.
Yeah,
I'll go in.
Okay.
Hello. Yes.
So I make the last one.
Okay.
In the middle.
Yeah, Ash is happy to be in the middle as well. He doesn't want to be on either end. Okay.
And the dog is with me, back there too. Oh no, he's in front with.
Oh, the dog didn't see anything either, by the way, while it was looking around. I would have said something, of course. Yeah. Is the dog entering with you too?
Yes, he is up there with Lee to give him extra observation.
Okay. And you've ordered the dog to like bark if it sees anything or something.
He just notices me, and I can, because I've got an uplink to him, and I could notice Lee and the others. Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah. Maybe he does bark on its own.
We didn't talk about networking stuff. There is this sort of like this mesh, this sort of like internet that on Earth kind of covers everything. But here in this setting, it's there is also something that's kind of covering the city. It's currently you're not able to connect to anything like that. It seems like it's might be switched off, but you have the equivalent of like a hotspot that you're able to communicate with each other locally as long as you stay relatively close together. Okay. But if you start to split up and move too far away, you're going to lose that. You're going to not lose that kind of like. You're going to get too far from the hotspot, to put it in terms that we can understand. Yeah. Okay. So, You are entering what is a corridor. It looks like an office corridor, very plain white walls, and it's heading straight from the door. The door was like on the side of the building, like on the corner kind of the building, and when it opened up, there's this corridor just runs without a door on either side, no windows or anything like that. It just runs in a straight line, straight ahead. There's one fluorescent light that's switched on inside. You're not sure how far down it is because you can't see beyond. The corridor seems to keep going straight ahead. And the building is very large, but the corridor is seems it's just weird. Like, why would you have a door on the outside opening into a very, very, very long corridor? You understand? It seems a bit weird. That hasn't stopped Lee from stepping right into it and just like moving fairly quickly, like if you've seen any films with I don't know, tactical response teams, they're moving fairly quickly into like opening a room, moving quickly into it. He's kind of doing that. He's kind of like trying to stay quiet. He's not running. He's not walking. He's doing something in between. And moving straight down this corridor with like he's keeping his left shoulder almost touching the wall so that he's not in the middle of the corridor. And yeah.
Quake is gonna grab his pistol out of his holster and follow behind him.
Are you gonna also stay to the left, or are you gonna
I'm gonna trust Lee.
We can say that the dog is kind of to his right. There's enough space in this corridor for two to walk next to each other.
Yeah.
So that kind of works. Okay. That means Quake can't really see anything ahead because you're right behind Lee, and Lee's kind of blocking the corridor ahead of you.
And he's too curious. He's gonna start behind and then step out a bit, and then out a bit, and
just
out a bit.
Just so you can see around.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
I'm too curious. I'm not pointing the gun though. I'm having it in my hand only.
I understand. Yep. You're ready if you need it. It's there if you need it.
Yeah. It's safety.
And what about Kara?
Fighting behind them, but pushing more for safety because I'm still spooked out. So I will stay in line, having the shock maul at the ready.
Okay. Yeah, you don't have a like a ranged weapon, right? You had a knife and a shock baton. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Ash has his pistol out. He looks very uncomfortable. He looks quite scared. But he's in the middle of the group, so he's in the best place he could be as far as he's concerned. And then Carlos at the back. You kind of see everybody ahead of you. They're all in the corridor, and you can get occasional glimpses, be it past them, but really you can't really see much because there's like 4 people in front of you. And yeah, you start moving into this corridor, and after you've moved in a short way, Carlos, you hear the door close behind you.
Fuck's sake!
Just like you hear a click. There's a slam, a click, and you like quickly look over your shoulder, and the door is closed.
Yeah, but quite fairly. It's not unusual that doors close automatically. Like, even we have doors that slowly close themselves, controlled. We have the power on, so yeah, it adds to the spooky atmosphere. But doors that open,
the door's closed. That's all. I mean, I didn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just mumble something.
Quake. You're behind Lee, and there was that single fluorescent light, like tube, lighting up the corridor. There isn't another one ahead, and the corridor is now only being lit by Lee's torch, and Lee's torch is relatively good, but it's kind of a wide beam torch rather than a narrow beam torch, so it's lighting up. It's not going too far ahead.
Oh.
So you can't.
Do I have a torch as well, or?
Yeah, everybody's got a torch. Yeah.
I'll light mine and point it. Not like the cooler way. I'm holding it like a normal person.
You're not holding it like this. You're holding it like
No.
like this.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
lightsaber style.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Um.
And I'm pointing it forwards.
Okay. Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, it's
and-
maybe helping a little bit,
Mm.
but
But,
it's
yeah.
it's still
It's so dark.
It's very dark. Like there's no light beyond there. There's no windows.
Oh.
It's pitch black. Yeah.
This is a strange house. It's probably in here somewhere.
Shut up, Lee says.
Okay.
And did it look different from the outside, like with windows and stuff? Like, did it convey that this would just be a corridor?
No, it doesn't look at all like you would imagine it would have
Mm.
from outside. I mean, you have no idea what it would look like, but you've been in buildings before, right?
Exactly.
You've never been in a building, and it seems like this is some sort of like industrial building. So like, why would you put a really long ass corridor in a, you know, in an industrial building? It doesn't make a lot of sense.
It's not like it's bigger on the inside than on the outside, but rather this architect had no understanding of the core principles of human architecture.
Hold up.
Something like that.
I didn't say that.
It's more
Yeah.
like a tunnel.
Lee, stop. Hold up a bit.
He stops. What is it? Do you see something?
I'll go. Nah,
He
it's
drops.
strange.
He drops to a knee. and holds a
Yeah,
fist
I
like
don't
this.
do that. I'll go over to the wall and feel it. And is it you know, is it,
It feels like
metal
it feels like a
wall?
wall. It's
Yeah.
like plasterboard that's
Wow.
been probably painted white.
Oh yeah. Couldn't we
imagine?
go
I mean,
through
it's-
this? It's just plasterboard.
Lee turns and looks at you and says, "If there's any," kind of quietly, "if there's
Yeah.
anyone inside this building, they'll know we're here if we smash through a wall."
Yeah, you're right. I was just thinking that we could surprise them from another direction.
There's
seems
could
that-
be hostiles here. We're
Yeah.
not supposed to be here.
Okay, let's go on.
I prefer to be cautious. Carlos, what do you think? You're in charge here, technically.
Hmm.
Why don't we send your dog forward?
Yeah. Yeah, I think we should send the dog forward, secure the corridor as far as we can, and see
Yep.
what we learn there. Yeah.
Your dog also has like night vision mode
Mhm.
too. But fortunately, that only works if there is ambient light. It doesn't work if it's pitch black.
Mhm.
I think even in the future that technology probably doesn't exist to just magically turn pitch black into non-pitch black. But you do have ambient light. There is ambient light because you have torches, right? So
Yeah.
there is, and you're shining it in that direction. So the dog is able to see forward, but not like to the end of the corridor necessarily.
Yeah.
It can see forward a lot further than you can, though, for sure. So you're now getting this like this greenish night vision display in your HUD, so to speak, and you keep moving.
Mhm.
At some
I want to
point-
keep track.
Mhm.
This corridor, this tunnel, longer than this actual building, like from the outside? Does it?
You get the.
Does-
I mean, you've not been measuring, but you
Yeah.
feel like, from what you think you saw from outside, the corridor should come to an end. Either there's going to be a door or a turn or something up ahead soon, any minute now.
And there aren't any doors to the sides, right?
Nothing, just same walls on both sides.
Yeah, I think I let the dog go 50 meters, max 100. And if this corridor doesn't come to an end, then we should return and go back. This would be clearly a trap.
Okay.
Something is really off.
Yeah.
So from the point where I said you feel like the corridor should be coming to an end any minute now.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
point. 50 meters on, the corridor is still going.
Yeah. I'll take
Let
further
the dog
50
go
meters.
another 50 meters, like you said.
Yeah, we advanced the 50 meters while the dog is going more, so we keep our distance now.
Okay, and you feel like you're just about to give the order to the dog to
Yeah.
stop and to turn around or to make your way back.
Yeah.
When they're up in the distance, you see like a solid wall, perpendicular, like the corridor is coming to an end.
Mm-hmm. Well, damn me and my dear mother. Can we see it with the flashlights?
You can't
Pointing
yet,
at it?
but you
Oh.
can because the dog's a little ways ahead of you. The dog, you're kind of seeing this through the dog's eyes. Yeah.
Okay.
But you're just looking at in fact, you can maybe just barely make out the back, like the hindquarters of the dog in the corridor ahead of you.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Looks like
the dog stops
cover
when you
does.
see the end of when you see the wall when it first shows up in the distance. It's probably another 20 meters or so ahead. You reckon?
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's quite obvious.
Yeah.
Like you've got these white, the white lines kind of vanishing with the perspective, and then all of a sudden there's like where it's been black in the middle, it's now there's like a very faint gray or green, I should say, as there seems to be like an end in sight.
Yeah. I'll relay this to the rest of the party.
Guys,
Finally.
Mother.
is it just me, or do the measurements of the building and this on the inside don't add up, don't they?
Oh, this whole place is messing with your senses. I thought I saw a figure out there once or twice, but the dog didn't pick up any signs of human activity. Same with the comms, with the machine heart beating sounds. Something is very much off here.
Yes. But it could also be very important.
I wonder
Should we-
what's with us.
Check out the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. Close up to the dog and then...
If we can find a way out again.
Yeah.
Okay.
We advance, let's say.
The dog advances, of course, first, and you can see.
Yeah, but also like now in the we
bit
keep
further
our
back
distance to
with
the dog.
you.
Yeah.
Okay. But the dog can still see further than you can, so you're still
Yeah,
keeping
sure.
an eye because you're at the back as well, so you can kind of see
Yeah.
almost better than anyone else because you're the only one getting the feed from the dog. And very quickly, you can tell that while the corridor does indeed come to an end, on the left-hand side, so what you're from your mind where you're going in, the right-hand side of the corridor would have been the external wall. Does that make sense? So you're like walking along the back of the building, with your right hand being against the external wall, and the left, if Quake would have broken through, you would have broken through the left wall and probably into the main bit of the thing.
Okay.
On that left, at the very end of the corridor on the left, there is a door.
Oh, look what we found here.
So like a long corridor with a door right at the end, like on the end, all the way at the other end. There's one on the side. Yeah. And very soon, because you're moving fairly quickly, you get to the door. The door doesn't appear to have any kind of lock. It's made of wood, it looks like. Now, that's a little bit unusual, but it's painted, so it could be some sort of like fake plastic that's made to look like wood. That's also something that can be done, but it looks like it's in the style of a wooden door with a simple round doorknob, painted white to match the walls.
Should I open and then you guys could go through?
Switch the
We
lights
go
off.
through.
Lee says,
Yeah.
lights off.
Yeah.
Okay.
If it's dark on the other side and we open this door, we're going to announce to everyone that we're here. Can you
Yeah.
open it
Yeah,
slowly?
right.
Open it slowly, Quake.
Okay.
He crouches.
grab
He
the
crouches down,
handle.
like drops down to one knee, so his like shotgun is pointed at the door, but like under your arm when you're opening it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm standing at the side of the door, so I'm not in direct firing lanes, but the dog is keeping watch behind Lee.
I'll
Yeah.
turn off my flashlight and I'll grab the handle and then turn off the flashlight.
Okay, you do that.
And then I go on 3. 1, 2, and I open.
Okay. The door opens soundlessly, like it's been well greased, the hinges, and it's bright on the other side of the door. In fact, what you're looking at is a huge water treatment facility. It looks like.
Ooh.
There is in the middle of the room, in the middle of this building. It's all open plan. In the middle is this circular vat, like water vat, and there are some like standing, what would you call them, like glass or plastic, whatever,
Cylinders, like
cylinders
tanks.
full of
Systems.
full of water. Yep. With you can see that there's some fans moving at the bottom of them, kind of circulating the water, and the light. It's fairly bright in here, although you can't see any light sources, like any you can't see any like light bulbs or lights like traditional types of light. The light is coming from the water itself.
Oh.
There seems to be some sort of strange, like, luminescent things in the water. Like, not things. There's not things swimming in the water. It's like it's like there's this like, if you've ever poured like ink into water and swirled it a bit, but not completely mixed it, you get this sort of like swirling effect. Imagine it's like that, but it's like a like a luminescent sort of swirling something. So the water is still mostly transparent, but everywhere you look, all of the water seems to have this sort of like swirling light moving around in it. And of course the water is being agitated by fans and things anyway. But this is basically, it seems like the building matches in your head with what it seemed like from the outside in terms of dimensions. It's a big building. You can see on the other side from where you are, there's like offices built into the side. But you're opening this door is opened into the main bit of the water treatment facility.
Wow.
And there's probably these like cylinders. There's probably about a dozen altogether inside, dotted fairly regularly like throughout. But they're all glowing. It seems like they're all glowing, and there's this like this glow. Imagine like the Northern Lights. But instead of being like those colors, it's more like a peachy, silvery, kind of goldy sort of glow, if that makes sense. Yeah, like champagne, the color champagne. That's a bit too pink, maybe.
Wow.
Peach. It's like a light peach. Anyway.
Well, there's different kinds of champagne.
Like peach iced tea. Well,
and there's noise. There's machinery moving. There's a lot of fans moving around and stuff. And there's a gentle hum, kind of inside the building. There is no like heartbeat sort of rhythm to it.
Wow.
okay.
Quake says.
What are we supposed to find here, Quake?
Lee moves straight through the door, and moves to one side, and then you can see his hand going like.
Yeah. Dog follows behind, spreads out to the other side, surveying the room. We follow up. I suppose.
Carlos, I don't know. It was a hunch.
Hmm.
I think it's magnificent.
Yeah, well, if you ever have a hunch to drink of that water, don't.
I can see
yeah.
Quake's head goes, that's an idea.
I hadn't thought of that
Okay,
yet.
I shouldn't. Yeah, I haven't thought about that yet.
Nah, sure.
Now I have. Now I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, now I can't forget about it.
In
I
fact,
was
now
only
that that
thinking about
thought has entered
rigging,
your
so-
head, Quake,
Yeah.
you have this overwhelming desire to get close to one of the cylinders to get a better look at
Mhm.
this beautiful,
Yeah.
whatever it is
Yeah.
inside.
I'll walk into the room as well.
Yeah.
No, I won't drink this. It's too beautiful.
Well, you can't drink it yet because you're kind of at the
Yeah.
edge of the building, and there's these big cylinders. There aren't any
Yeah.
like convenient taps where you could turn one and have a little drink. This is a water treatment facility, right? It's not meant to be.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
not
treat
quite
yourself
ready
some
yet.
water. Right.
Oh,
The water treatment.
I'll walk up. I walk into the room. I'm probably gonna walk too far into the room as well. You know,
Okay.
the tactical cool people.
You want to walk
are
up
gonna
to
be
one of the
annoyed.
cylinders, I take it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The closest one?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I'm hesitating, but following.
This
Up.
the swirling is, you feel like it's changing a bit as you're coming closer.
Yeah.
Like maybe it's trying to tell you something.
Of course it is.
No.
Hello.
And as you get closer, as you're about maybe a meter away from the glass, the swirling is just like it's filling your eyes, like wherever you're looking at it, and it's not like here and there every now and again you have to find it. It's like the swirling is just like all in front of you. Your whole vision is filled with the swirling, and everyone else watching him as he's walking in. You notice that as he's approached, this luminescent stuff has like come together and is swirling around in front of him. And the rest of the
that shit's
tank that it's in
reacting.
is clear of this material, but he's too close to it to be able to realize that.
Shit. What is happening whenever he goes by?
Yeah.
Quake,
Somehow this.
Yeah.
Everything is reacting to him. I just want to follow you hastily and just try to pull you away from this.
Oh, no.
Completely brutal, but with
Yeah.
gentle force. The gentle
feel the
force
hand
of the
you feel that hand on your
exoskeleton
shoulder.
mining arm.
I have
Oh,
my
that
hand
hand.
up. I
That
want.
hand.
Yeah.
I want to touch the screen, the glass, but then I get pulled back.
Just as you feel the hand land on your shoulder and you're reaching out your hand, right where
Yeah.
your hand would be, you feel like the swirling stuff is starting to take shape into some sort of pattern, and then you're pulled back, and it kind of like fades again.
It wants to talk to us.
Yeah, it wants to talk to you. I don't know what you did up there, but somehow this shit is reacting to you. Whatever they mixed in this
Oh.
water, luminescent algae or something like that.
I'll walk behind Carlos and push him forward.
Yeah, I would try not to.
Are you gonna let yourself be pushed forward,
No.
Jakob?
No.
Okay.
Carlos would try to stand where he is.
Oh, you're a big
Maybe
guy.
it was
Whatever
also-
they-
You're a big guy, so you can
And-
definitely just
Yeah,
stand.
and Quake is not forcing; it's just a soft push. you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Whatever they mixed in there, like luminescent algae or something like that, that's. It reacts in the same strange way, like. The humming, the heartbeat of the machines.
Yeah.
Well, maybe
think-
something has a consciousness in here.
We could use some
Everywhere.
help.
Yeah, no, I don't think it wants to help us.
Wow.
That's,
You hear a click, like something's click closed, coming from ahead of you.
Okay.
Oh. Maybe
Like-
it's.
One of the doors of the offices?
Could be. It's coming from that direction.
Mm-hmm. Let's check in the offices. Maybe
Okay.
we find something there. Something that gives us any clue about what's going on here. What they mean in the damn water.
Let's. Quake is looking at the water but not going closer because Carlos doesn't want that, so he's following over to the. But he really wants to, but he's not gonna.
Okay. You make your way over to the middle of the room where the big open tank is. It's got like a rail going around it that's kind of waist high.
I like would like to do a wide circle around this open.
You can see inside, like it's huge, and you can see inside this stuff is swirling around as well.
Yeah, but it's on ground level open, though it's opening on ground level, so it would be easy to be pushed in, even though there's a railing, something like that. So
sure, yeah,
or something reaching out and grappling.
I mean,
so.
this isn't
to be clear.
To Moria. Come on.
Yeah, to be clear, Jakob. Quake didn't push you hard. He was just
no.
Trying to. Yeah.
But this is eerie. This is very eerie, and I don't want to get close to this water basin that's open on ground level. So something is very fishy here, to say the least.
So can everybody please give me an observe roll? We're gonna be finishing up in a minute too. So
I use the dog as a bonus, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So that means you step up a die. So if I look at your character sheet, you have a D6 for observe and a D10 for cool. So you up step your lowest rating there. So your observe goes to do a D8.
Yeah. And I roll. Oh, yeah.
Oh, you've all. Oh no, I haven't.
2d8, isn't that right? You roll for cool and observe.
A D8, cool and yes. Oh, I'm looking at Quake. Sorry. Yep. So you are D8 and D8. Yep. 2d8. Yeah. We'll talk about success next session, because success is also something that, or style, I should say. Style is something that can come into play here. But these are fairly simple rolls at the moment. This is just more like a passive perception that I wanted. So everyone's passed. You all see something move in past one of the windows of the office. Of one of the, like, there's lots of windows to this like office area, and you see something move past very quickly.
Flashlight
just catches your eye. Did anybody have 2 successes? No. Okay.
No.
But you all think you saw it, and we'll just say for ease that Lee and Ash weren't looking in that direction. Your dog was, though, too, because your dog helped. So you could actually was probably recording. It takes like a short has like imagine it's kind of like short-term memory. Yeah. And you can rewind and watch like the last 5 minutes of footage. It's always being overwritten, so it's not taking up too much memory, but you can go back and watch.
I would save this. I would like to save this footage. And,
you review it. Do you want to review it too?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, probably. Yeah, I would like to go to the office, but while that reviewing and zooming in and try to, see as much as possible.
You're still moving around the side towards the office while you're doing this?
Yeah.
Are you all staying on one side, or are you splitting and going one on one side and one on the other? Not that it makes any difference.
Yeah. So Carlos is cycling on the right side around it. So
and I think for story reasons, I think Quake is on Carlos' side because we were close to each other first.
Yeah. Same side that Lee's on as well. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And what about Kara?
I would have said I'd go with Carlos because he's kind of my person I orient to, but if one is going to the other side, like, are we now staying together? Is it like split? We probably stay
Even
together
it's not
because
split
this is
party,
way
we
too
can
weird.
see each other from over the water, I'm guessing. All right?
Say
I'm
again?
guessing. We can see each other over the water, right?
Oh, yeah.
If we-
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
basically
Okay.
there's a railing at like waist high, and there's this big open like water vat that isn't higher than the railing. So you can see right past it.
Okay.
And when I'm
If we-
saying it's
if it's
big,
not-
it's like circular. The diameter of this thing is probably like 20 meters, something like that, 25 meters, like the size of a fairly big room. Sorry, Carmen, what were you saying?
If that is the case and it's not really a split up, like I would check out the other side.
Other side of the other side of the yeah, okay, you're gonna go left while they're all going right. Okay. You're walking a few more paces. You're just coming around the midpoint of the tank and kind of coming around the other side. When Carlos, you managed to like review back and see the footage. You run it past again at kind of normal speed. And there is definitely, it looks like the head and shoulders of someone moving past. The dog was using, it still was kind of using its night vision mode in the recording, because it's I mean it's light, but it's not like super bright or anything like that, right? It's
no contrast.
But you can switch the footage. You can enhance the footage a bit, like in Blade Runner a bit, you know, to do that. So you're kind of like giving the orders and doing it in your head. It takes a few moments. By this time, you're coming around the sides of the tank, or this like open vat, and you run it past again a bit slower with normal coloring, trying to enhance to make it a bit crisper to see what you can see.
Yeah,
and
angular gradation curves.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. We're using Photoshop a bit.
Yeah,
in Blade
yeah.
Runner. And you just see something yellow. It's something yellow passing across with a bit of a black bit where the face is. Not super clear. Not a lot of light in all the lights in the office are switched off. And right at that point, just as you notice this and you're about to say something, you hear Lee say from the front, kind of quietly into the comms, "Did you say you found a hatch at that other building? Because there's one here too." Sorry, I should come a bit closer. "Did you say there was a hatch? You found a hatch at the other building? Because there's one here too." And as you come around and kind of come around to see, there is indeed a hatch on the other side of this vat, but this hatch is standing completely open. And we're going to end on that note. Yeah.
Perfect.
Nice.
So, thanks. That was kind of fun. It was a bit of a weird start. I apologize. Completely in the wrong headspace for kicking off. With all the technical stuff we're having. Hopefully next week this will be a little bit smoother. For anybody watching, if you want to use Foundry and want to use the built-in video for Foundry, recommended browser is Chrome, not Brave, not Edge, not Firefox. Everybody should be using Chrome because that's the only one that we could get to work. It seemed to solve all of our issues somehow. So anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. Yeah. I appreciate there wasn't a lot of mechanics going on in here. This was meant to ease people into this, ease the players into the system. I wanted to just have a few dice rolls so you get used to how we rolling dice with Foundry, how the base core of the system works with, adding an attribute to its skill, that sort of thing, looking for successes. We're going to start adding onto that, adding a bit of complexity in our next session in 2 weeks' time. And also, I should mention, in session 0, we said this was going to be a 4-session series. It's only going to be 3 sessions because we have a hard cutoff point, and we won't be going beyond that. So we only have 2 more sessions to go. We'll see what happens. Okay.
Right.
All right.
Yeah. So thanks, everyone. Let me know what you thought in the comments as well. If you enjoyed this, if you have any tips or any comments you want to leave, I'll get notification of them. So let us know, and catch you next time.
All right. Thanks for GMing, Matt, and thanks for watching.
Yeah, thanks for a
Bye.
great
Bye,
session.
you guys.
Bye.
My pleasure. Bye bye. Oh, that is a really long lag.